That's enough of the dog chat. It's time. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hasan Biker.
Hello, Hasan Piker.
What's going on?
Well, I'm doing a debate. What about you?
That's what I'm doing as well. All right. Wait, hold on. Oh, are you going to show me all the time as well on the Zoom call?
Oh, here, I can fix that. 1 second. Let me just set it to Ethan's output here. There you go.
If you want, just show like, not just Ethan, but yourself as well. If you're going to talk, like that's fine.
Hey,
Hassan,
Hasan, leave the production notes to my team. You can switch your show how you like.
Well, you know, they were my coworkers as well, Ethan.
Well, it's been a while, my friends, and guess what? They are not now.
No, I know.
So let's start. I mean, so you did this content cop, right? And I mean, did that go how you expected? It didn't seem to hit very hard.
Before we get started, can I lay some like ground rules so we can have like a productive conversation?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, I wanted to come on to make this as issue specific as possible. But yes, you have grievances with me, and of course, I think they're valid to address.
Okay.
And of course,
good.
we'll talk about that. Hopefully, I'll be able to address some counterpoints as well, if you will allow me in that process.
Of course. Absolutely.
But before we get started on anything, I would like to potentially talk about definitions so we can have like an established definition on a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about. Is that okay with you?
I mean, it depends how many definitions you got. What do you want to define? I don't want to get bogged down in this. So
I'm also experiencing audio issues on my end, so hold on 1 second.
Go ahead. No worries. No worries.
Okay. All right. So you're fine with that?
I mean, up to a point. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to get bogged down in a conversation.
Like a gotcha.
Go ahead. Start. No, I know you're not. I just want to get going.
So first and foremost, I think we should define what Zionism is and what you mean by Zionism and what I mean by Zionism, so you can understand where I'm coming from.
Zionism is the belief that Jews should have their own homeland in the historic, Palestine area. That's it.
Okay. All right. So I believe that Zionism is a religious ethno-supremacist ideology that revolves around the exterminationist policies of removing the indigenous population that lived in, as you said, historic Palestine, as long as they are not Jews, because it's a religious, ethno-religious supremacist ideology. I think that this is a disagreement that you and I have.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. If you want to add that, like the genesis of Zionism included, the displacement and the ravaging of the culture that existed there, then I would agree with you. I mean, I don't think that the establishment of Israel was like a good thing. I mean, it was tragic and a lot of bad things happened. But let me ask you, sir. How was filming that content? I just have to know what you were thinking as they were doing the Fortnite L behind you.
We'll get that.
No. We're here. I don't want to talk about definitions. You got your Zionism, and let's do the.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was fine. Did you not? I've participated in other YouTube videos as well in the past.
No, but that Fortnite L dancing.
Some of them feature sketches. Okay.
I noticed you weren't in the other shots. Why was that?
I think I was being interviewed by.
Oh, really? Who was interviewing you?
That was happening. I can't.
Really?
I don't remember.
Really? Oh, that's convenient. I think you were embarrassed, frankly. You were absent from every other shot.
Wait,
I think you saw him doing that Fortnite dance, and you said, "I got to get out of this."
No,
and by the way,
care.
I'm giving you credit for that.
I mean, Ethan, you're a comedian. You participated in some sketches. It happens.
Not in that. I mean,
really? You're one of your most famous sketches. You in a fucking diaper. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we've done funny things.
Okay, you know what? Let's not debate the merit of our comedy. You're right. I'm very hacky, and so are you.
Okay.
By the way, you believe that the likes were botted on that?
What?
You had said you thought the likes were botted on the content cop. Do you still believe that?
What? The likes were botted on the content cop? I don't know.
The dislikes were botted. The dislikes, sorry. Yeah, you said it was brigaded and was botted. And it was unnatural, the dislikes on the video.
I don't really I don't really care about this. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Well,
I don't
asking.
recall
I don't
saying
care
this,
if
but
you,
I don't know why this is a major
you
point
did
of
say
contention.
it.
All right, so you asked that
No,
question.
no.
Let's get back to some other definitions.
Hold on. Let me finish, and then you can do your definition.
Okay.
Do you
it's
think
not
it
my
was?
definition? I want to hear your definition.
That's fine. I'll answer how you like.
I hope you know that, like, you know, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't publish the Content Cop. iDubbbz did.
Yes, I know that, and I've
good.
addressed him
All right,
thoroughly.
just-
Do you know that? Do you believe he should have included the context of the CPS call?
What?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Wait. I'm a little confused. You are asking me
Yes.
what my opinion is on
the
iDubbbz's
video.
Content Cop.
Correct. That's
About
correct.
the CPS. I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Okay. I mean,
Yes.
I think it was more so about like your year-long conquest of deplatforming and also harassing.
Right. Well, 90% of the
quite
clips
frankly,
were
harassing
from
a
the
bunch of
episode
pro-Palestinian
entitled
content
CPS
creators.
Came to My House, Hasan. I don't know if you think that's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I've made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate to fucking call CPS.
No. That's
I think it's completely
obvious.
inappropriate
I'm
to call
saying your
CPS
friend
on a
Hasan you
content
made
creator
a
you don't
video
like.
with
I don't know why
did a
you're- I
total
don't know why you
fucking
think
hit
I have
job.
any
All
hand
right, go
in
ahead.
this.
Ask me a question.
I don't have any, like, dude, listen,
Go ahead.
listen to me.
Go ahead.
Listen, we're both content creators online. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. You and I have talked privately about this. When
Hasan,
we
I don't
were-
care. Let's
when we
just
had a
go
podcast.
on.
No,
You-
what do
I
you
don't-
mean?
I-
You brought this up.
I don't-
You brought it up. Hold on. Let me say my
I know
piece.
what you're saying. We've all
You brought
been
it up.
harassed.
Let
The
me
internet is
let me say
tough.
my
Whatever,
piece.
yada yada. Ask me a question.
No. Please, Ethan, please.
Because you're so boring, bro. I just want to have an interesting
You know who else
conversation.
also
Go
told me
ahead.
that? Andrew Tate. Please, just hold on and let
Wow,
me
I have-
try to
wow,
explain
God
my
forbid.
position to you. You and I are both content creators. We get an endless wave of harassment, doxing, swatting, all of this stuff, okay? Sometimes by the same people, ironically enough, by the same communities. You and I know we've had these conversations in private before
been a while.
before we, stop doing our podcast. And you know my position on this. I think it's completely unacceptable.
I
because
know
am
you're
victim
against
to the same
CPS.
exact things
That's
that
not
happen to
even
you in this
interesting.
regard. I would never in a million years advocate for that
Okay,
sort
ask
of
me a
thing
question.
and don't think it's appropriate. And I don't know
Very
why
good.
you
Ask me a
think
question.
that I have anything to do with this.
Because you're not you're misrepresenting what I asked you. I didn't ask you, do you think it's okay that people called CPS? I asked that the video that you participated in, which was a total fucking hit job that used 90% of its clip from an episode of the podcast called CPS Got Called on Me and didn't even include the title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think you should take this up with iDubbbz instead of me. I didn't
Okay,
make
sure.
any
Ask me a
editorial-
question.
Yeah, I didn't make any of the editorial decisions in iDubbbz's
try-
Content Cop.
I'm asking what you thought about it, okay? Not if you made it. It's pretty fucking...
Sure,
Pretty obvious. Go ahead, ask me a
sure it would have
question.
been- I'm sure that I'm sure that it would have been all right if he mentioned it. I don't.
It would have
I don't
been all
know why
right?
This is a major point of contention for you. I thought we were going to talk about Israel Palestine.
We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. You had said that I have problems with your character. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
know
Go ahead,
that
ask me a
you're-
question.
But you having problems with my character is
Hasan,
is
ask me a
so
question,
far
I'm gonna move
removed
on to
from
the
you
next topic
asking me
here.
about iDubbbz's editorial decisions in his Content Cop.
I'm asking about your opinion on it. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Okay. So, do you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes.
Okay, great, awesome. So you agree with the with numerous human rights organizations, the UN?
I already said yes.
Okay, great. No, that's important. Thank you for saying that. I also agree on this. If you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza, okay, do you feel like you have used your limited amount of time that you have as a content creator speaking out against Israel doing a genocide on the Palestinian population living in the Gaza Strip, or do you feel like most of your commentary on that issue has overwhelmingly been to rail against people that are doing that? Pro-Palestinian
Sure.
advocates
Well,
that you feel
I
like
don't know
you've been wronged by, myself included.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but if you're pro-Palestine, it doesn't absolve you of criticism. That's something that you guys keep harping on.
I never
do I
said
do
that.
I think
And
my
don't that's the
coverage?
case. I don't think that is the case.
Okay. Do you think my coverage has been like totally balanced? I would say no. I've obviously given less time to the Palestinian perspective, and I think the reason for that is simply
No,
that.
not just the Palestinian perspective, Ethan. I think that rather than talking about that issue in and of itself, rather than talking about the genocide itself, every time you have talked
Hasan, I'm
about,
answering your
every
question.
time you've talked about Israel-Palestine, it almost always revolved around
I was going to tell you why. Do you want to
personal
let me answer?
vendettas that you have experienced from pro.
I was going to explain
groups.
that. Okay. Would you like me to? You asked me a question, so
Yeah.
I'm going to answer it.
Go ahead.
The reason for that being is that I feel like I'm responding to a lot of bullshit that's been passed my way ever since leftovers ended, starting from you and your community. Now, that's my answer to that. Now, let me ask you about this.
Mm-hmm.
This sword has a Nazi swastika hilt.
Okay.
Do you disagree? What's funny about that?
I think it's funny because you've made this a major point of contention. That's why I think it's funny.
It's a swastika, is it not?
It's a sword that is a bleach sword, as you know already, that has a hilt that has a Japanese manji sign on it. But yes, it does look like a swastika, as I have also noticed and have talked about on numerous occasions that you've brought forward on your podcast.
Yeah, of course
already.
you're conceding that because we fished this up, but yeah.
Such as when I made fun of, I believe it was Alexa that that grabbed it, and I said, "Oh, you immediately go for the swastika one." Yeah, exactly. Do you think? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you think that I- do you think
anyway,
that I
my
actually
point
think
is,
it's
Hasan, if I can continue my point, is that you knew it was a swastika sword. So why did you guys choose to pose with this sword?
Ethan?
Answer that. Why was the choice made for this sword?
I'm going to gently explain this to you again. One, it's not a swastika, but regardless.
Do you think it looks like a swastika?
I did not make this editorial decision. I wasn't even, was I?
Do you think it's reasonable to perceive that as a swastika?
Ethan?
Answer the question. Is it reasonable to perceive that?
I don't think it was a deliberate decision that
Okay, well,
made. But I don't know. I don't know his mind.
Okay, well, Hasan, they're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty slim.
Well, considering
you have
that
10
I had
swords, don't you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword, I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot?
Yes. That's what we call a dog whistle, Hasan. And what you're doing is gaslighting somebody. You made a video.
You think I'm dog
Let me make a
whistling
point
with
here, Hasan, because you're the king of microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minority groups. Right?
This is true.
So you made a video. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish. Let me finish my point, Hasan. No. Stop.
Can I just say?
You are making a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism while exhibiting the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. Do you not see this as a problem, or at least am I insane for thinking this is odd?
Ethan, take a deep breath. Okay.
Answer the question.
Take a deep
breath.
breath.
I don't need you to
I didn't
console
even
me.
hear your question. I need you to
Well, you
answer
should try
something.
listening instead of speaking.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle in an Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword that I have?
You have 10 swords.
I know, they're heavy. That's not a real sword.
So you. Oh, yes, I'm aware that it's not a real sword, but you had 10 to choose from. What does it matter how much they weigh?
The other ones are heavy, Ethan.
Let me
I'm
paint a
waving
scenario.
that shit around.
Let me paint, Hasan, let me paint a scenario for you, okay? Listen, okay? This is important. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism.
Mm-hmm.
You exhibited in that video the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. 1 out of 10 of your swords that you have previously already stated is the, quote, swastika sword. So am I insane for you're treating me like I'm insane for bringing this up, but it sounds pretty reasonable.
I mean, it's a little insane, yes.
So microaggressions just don't exist for Jewish people.
You're asking me why iDubbbz made
It's your
this
sword,
decision,
bro. I don't believe that you weren't there.
iDubbbz, and
You were there, bro. It's in your fucking house.
I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me why iDubbbz
Because
chose
it's
that.
your house and your sword.
But I also gave you what my speculation is, and that is that it's most
just a
likely because I
cosmic
had
chance.
previously
Okay.
had it laying around because I had just done an Assassin's Creed promo.
Okay, if you say so. So if it's a cosmic fluke, which you claim, then why leave the photo
I'm
up?
not even in the photo, I don't think, right?
I know
Am
it's in
even
your
the-
room though, and with your sword. Why leave the photo up if it's a cosmic fluke?
Wait, why are you asking me this question? I don't know. I'm not, Ethan.
I'm sorry,
not
Hasan.
iDubbbz.
Are you unable to make value judgments on situations? Like, isn't that what you do for a living? Do you think that iDubbbz should have removed?
It's relevant or that big of a deal at all. If that's what you're trying to get out of me, like, yeah, I think it's not. It's
Okay,
what
so you're
you
telling
are
a Jewish
perceiving.
man who's complaining about a
And
very
also,
odd
can I
coincidence
just-
that I'm
It's a
crazy
form
and
of
I'm
Maggiani,
exaggerating.
Ethan, can we? Okay, you got me. All right, I don't know what to tell you. Listen.
Oh,
to
you
me.
got me. I put a swastika in the video calling you out for
No, that's
exaggerating
not what I'm
anti-Semitism.
saying. I didn't
You
do
got
that.
me. Yes, you
Ethan?
did. You
Ethan,
literally
I
did.
didn't do that.
Okay,
But again,
laugh about
it's
it. Go
not
on.
a swastika. And I don't even
Then
think
why
you
should you leave
have
it up?
that much of an issue with swastikas, considering you drew one on PewDiePie.
I'm a
So-
Jewish man, you fucking moron.
Oh, I didn't realize the
Oh,
Nazis
is
only
anyone in
killed
that room
Jews.
Jewish?
Is that what
Was
happened?
anyone in that room? Did I
the Nazis
draw
only kill Jews,
swastika
Ethan?
one time
do you
on?
think that, do you think that Jews have an exclusivity agreement with like being offended or not offended by Nazi imagery? You've done a Sig Heil approximately what 50 times
Why
since
did,
Elon
why did
Musk
I do a
it?
Sig Heil? Why did I do a Sig Heil?
I don't know.
Because because you only watch
wondering.
clips on Twitter. I was making fun of Elon Musk and trying to see if it was valid or not.
Thank you.
And by
Thank
the
you
way,
for
as a Jewish
clarifying.
man,
My
are you
bad.
going to tell black people not to use the N-word?
Wait, what?
Are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word because it offends you?
Do you think this is an apt comparison?
Yes.
Okay. So you think that being able to draw the your anti-Semitism radar is completely out of whack. You
And
understand
who are
that,
you
right?
to say that
that's
to
the
me?
point
You
of
pose with
contention
the
here.
swastika.
You're saying that it's not a swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
No, it's not. Is it?
Let me see the swords in your background. Why didn't you choose one of those ones?
I didn't choose the sword, Ethan.
I don't believe
Do you
you.
think this is a productive use of our time?
Absolutely. So anyway, you say it's a weird cosmic fluke. Personally, if I think it was a weird cosmic fluke, you say basically it's not a swastika. The difference between the Hindu symbol
but
and
it's not.
Okay, right. The difference between the Hindu
What you
symbol
draw on
and the
PewDiePie,
Nazi
on the other hand,
swastika.
was a swastika.
I'll finish what I said. Yeah, I'm a Jewish man. I depicted a
cool.
swastika,
No,
a tasteless joke
I'm
on
just making sure.
on,
Okay, so
on
you can-
iDubbbz's shirt 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You said this is the swastika sword, and you keep it in your house and you use it and pose it in photos, attacking a Jewish man. The fact that you can't
I
even
jokingly
concede that
referred
looks
to it
bad.
as looking like a swastika when my friend picked it up. If
so
I
let me-
genuinely thought it was a swastika memorabilia, do you think I would keep it in my house?
Dude, you're being so obtuse. I know it's not a swastika, right? And I know you know it's not a swastika, but it is literally a swastika also. Because the difference between a swastika and that Hindu symbol is this. You see what I'm doing? This is the difference. If you ask a Hindu person, would they walk around with a swastika
Wait,
sign?
so you know it? So you know
fuck
it's not a
no.
swastika?
They
but
know
you
that
keep
looks
calling
like
it
a swastika.
sword. So I'm a little confused.
Ask your Hindu friends if they would walk around with like a swastika brandished. They know.
Okay.
Are you Hindu?
I am not Hindu.
Okay,
No.
interesting. So anyway, it was a
Wait,
cosmic
do you think
fluke.
that
You
only-
brandished
do you
what
think
I.
that only
what-
Hindu people have bleach swords? Like, what's going on?
We're
So-
discussing the symbol, not the sword. Okay, go ahead. So you think it was a cosmic fluke? There was 10 swords. He magically picked that one.
I can't. I'm speculating on the
he lifted
decision
up.
making of a person.
If it was a mistake, he could
who
have
I am not,
deleted
I'm not
it.
him. I don't
Go
know.
ahead, ask
Again,
me.
I'm going to repeat myself here. I think I'm doing this a lot.
You don't need to. Go
I
ahead.
am not iDubbbz.
Ask me the next question.
I don't know what was going on in his
I'm
mind.
not accusing you of being iDubbbz, Hasan, but you're acting like you're incapable of making value judgments on things because
No,
you're
because
not
I already
iDubbbz.
made the value judgment. I think you're being crazy.
Okay, well, Mr. Microaggressions thinks I'm being crazy. Very good. You have no problem telling Jewish people they're being crazy on
Yes.
what it's like a blatant fuck. Go ahead, ask me the
Yes.
next question.
Yes, I don't
you
have a
think
problem
if
telling
you could go back-
you're being crazy right
if-
now. You being
if-
Jewish has nothing to do with this.
Sure. I'm sure it doesn't. Do you think going back that it was a mistake to use that sword?
I don't really care about this at all.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that really
I
shows where
genuinely-
you're at
I
on this.
don't
Go ahead and
care.
ask me a question.
Okay. So, since you believe that Israel is committing a genocide, what are the appropriate steps that people can take, both in the Western world and also regional actors can take against this entity doing a genocide by your own admission, that you would consider to be appropriate? Because it feels like throughout this entire process, you have set boundaries on what you think is inappropriate.
Just killing civilians, that's the boundary.
As you have set boundaries on what you think is inappropriate,
Killing
and time
civilians.
and time again has said is outright anti-Semitic.
My boundary is killing civilians.
Okay, that's great. So
Is that unreasonable?
That's a perfectly reasonable boundary to set.
Okay,
I
good.
totally
So then
agree
we don't
with you on
disagree.
that. Great. Okay.
Great. So let me ask you the next one. Let me ask you about this Tabra tier list.
Let me finish.
Well, you asked and I answered. Go ahead. You could go on a little bit more.
Okay, so hold on. Everyone is complaining about my volume on my side because we're using Zoom instead of Discord. So my fucking
Go ahead.
audio,
It's fine. Take your
my
time.
audio
to get the
keeps
audio
going
right.
up and down. Okay. So one of the first conversations that we had, you and I had, that led to the Leftovers podcast ending, was that you considered "From the River to the Sea, Palestine will be free" to be an anti-Semitic slogan. You said that Jews feel like this is an exterminationist slogan and Jews fear this slogan in the United States of America.
Correct.
If you think that Israel's doing a genocide, do you feel like it is appropriate for Westerners in the United States of America and Palestinians and people of Palestinian descent to be able to use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
Okay, I mean, these are pretty extreme questions. Now, I'm not making a value judgment. I'm just trying. All I was trying to do.
What's happening right now?
Bro, do you want me to answer?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain the Jewish perspective. I'm not trying to make a value judgment of it. But what I will tell you is that, how do you feel about Norm Finkelstein?
Love Norm. I know he has said that it is.
Here's what he had to say about this.
I know what he said.
No. I want the audience to see this, Hasan.
Can I just?
Hassan, I want the audience to see this video.
Because I know Norm's positions.
Good. I'm glad you know. Let's let the audience know, Hasan. Hey, Hasan, let the audience watch the video.
I can have a nuanced and reasonable disagreement with a person that I actually admire.
So that's what we're having.
But I have a disagreement with
him.
So
it's nuanced and understandable with Norm. Let the audience watch the video, Hasan.
Okay. Go ahead.
Palestine will be free.
Let me go back. Yeah. Here's the Norm Finkelstein, a prominent figurehead in the Palestinian liberation movement.
Yeah. I know. I have more positions that I disagree with him on after this.
Video
as well.
can play, please.
Be free. I think it's a bad slogan. I know the slogan from the 1960s, the 1970s. It was a bad slogan then, and it's a bad slogan now because it has too much ambiguity. When you say "from the river
Son's gonna hit me with the chair react
to the sea, Palestine will be free," obviously a question arises. Okay, what happens to the Jews in that scenario? And some people will say, well, all it's about is everybody being free, but that's not what the slogan says. So I have, in recent weeks, I have voiced my concern that it's a bad slogan. And I said, just change it, tweak it. From the river to the sea,
My goat.
one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And you can't answer that slogan because all you're talking about is equal rights for everyone. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And I've encountered these.
I don't know if he actually means the one vote thing, because I think what he's saying is good in that. From the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free, which I think is good.
Norm has
You're
also
laughing at
routinely
Norm.
talked at campus encampments, college campus Palestinian encampments as to, I'm not going to make much hay about the slogan in general. There's plenty of other slogans that are.
Well, you're willing to listen to him, but when I say it, it becomes a big controversy.
I'm telling you that
it's
I
not
can
even
have a
my opinion,
disagreement with him
frankly.
on that. And you're forgetting one key factor.
What's that?
Okay, you're forgetting one key factor. Norm Finkelstein still ultimately will always say, while I disagree with the slogan because I think it scares people, it ultimately does not matter, and I'm not going to stand in opposition to it. He doesn't say it's anti-Semitic.
When
He
have I
doesn't
opposed
say
it?
It is exterminationist.
When
He
have I
says
opposed
that's
it?
what people think. If you
When
think
have
that,
I
if you
opposed
think
it?
that Norm Finkelstein would be in agreement with you in any way,
He
shape,
literally
or
is
form
in
on
agreement
any
with
issue,
me.
please have a conversation with him.
He's literally in agreement with me, like verbatim.
Okay. No, that's great.
Actually,
You said
even
it was
more.
Anti-Semitic. Norm doesn't think it's anti-Semitic.
Hassan,
I
do you
want
remember
to
me
ask Norm
advocating against it?
Finkelstein- I
Do
want
you
to
remember
ask
me
Norm
advocating against it?
Finkelstein if he agrees with you on anything.
Sure, I'll ask Norm Finkelstein. Do you remember me denouncing that statement and saying people shouldn't say it?
I believe in our conversation you said
No,
it was
it didn't happen.
You said
You're
it was
lying.
anti-Semitic.
I said it's perceived that way by Jewish people. All right, let's
Mm-hmm.
move on. The Sabra
Norm
tier
does not
list.
believe
Now,
it's an anti-Semitic slogan.
very good. I'll ask him about it. Now,
Are
let me
you
ask you
actually
about
going to
the.
do that? Because that would be wonderful. I think that would
Yes,
be
I'm
incredibly
going to talk to
productive.
Norm. We'll have a great conversation about From the River to the Sea.
Is it? Wait, can I ask you a question?
No. It's
Okay,
my
go
turn.
ahead.
You
know
spoke,
what?
and now
You
it's
know
my
what?
turn.
You go ahead. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very gracious of you.
Well, I mean, it's just a back and forth conversation, but you
Yeah.
you seemingly have a lot of grievances not pertaining to the actual issue at hand. But
I don't know.
you
The issue, my friend, the issue at hand is your behavior.
No, I think the issue at hand is the genocide.
Well, we seem to be coming at this from two different angles, which is great, right? So let me ask you this. Hold on. You said it's my turn to ask, so let me do that.
Hassan,
is it my turn to ask a question or
there's
what?
a genocide. You already recognize that Israel is committing a genocide.
I can care about two things, Hasan. It's very important to acknowledge that.
Don't you think that
I can care about two things, my
incredibly
friend.
narrow framework surrounding
Very
your own
easy.
personal feelings?
I'm not that smart, but I can care about two things.
Okay, no, I can too.
Even if one is more urgent than the other.
you think your own personal feelings born out of your misunderstandings is more important.
Did
than
I say that? I
actually-
said one is more urgent than the other, referring to the genocide.
Oh, okay. So you recognize that the genocide
Hassan,
is a more urgent issue.
Hassan, please,
but
let
you
me
spent
ask a question.
Almost all of your commentary
Yes, very
surrounding this
good.
issue on talking
Very
about
good.
your own personal feelings and how you've been wronged by people.
Very good. Let me ask you. So you
Wait,
claimed
can you
on.
answer that question? Does
No,
that make
Hassan, you
sense?
asked your question. It's my turn. I talked about how gracious you were, man. What happened?
Wait, but does that make
I
sense?
said you're
to
so
you?
gracious. You're going to let me ask you a question. What
Does
happened?
that make sense to you?
Don't make me take it back.
Does that make
All right,
sense?
let me ask you a
to
question. Hold on to that. Ask me after this.
Okay.
You defended Frogan's use of the Sabra tier list. What was your opinion on that?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
I think that the Sabra hummus tier list is absolutely insane to consider anti-Semitic, and most people have already laughed about it, despite the fact that it was very damaging in terms of deplatforming a bunch of content creators that participated in this, egged on by yourself, by the way.
Yes. With
And
pleasure.
yeah, it's not
It's
even
insane.
remotely.
Okay.
It's not even remotely anti-Semitic. It's like
Very good.
identical to
Let
the
me ask you
cracker
a
band that
question.
Twitch capitulated on.
So let me follow up with this. Have you seen the thumbnail?
The thumbnail
Yes, that's what I said.
for what?
This is the thumbnail that's still up. Now, let me ask you this, Hasan.
What?
Here's Frogan's thumbnail for the Sabra hummus tier list. In the F tier is me and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is not in the tier list. He has never explored or used. Why do you think Ben Shapiro is on the F tier?
Ethan? I'm gonna walk
Whoa,
you
answer
through
the
this
question.
again.
What you're
I'm
dodging?
not iDubbbz, and I'm not
Oh,
Frogan.
but you can't make value judgments suddenly on your friends who you've spent all this time defending.
No, because I don't care.
I
don't.
do.
Like this is. So,
I think it's
this
great
is-
you don't care. Why is Ben Shapiro there?
I don't know. I don't care. Probably because he's also a massive.
Probably because he's
fucking-
Jewish.
What? Because it's
Because it's
he's
the
Jewish?
most prominent Jewish
Do you
creators on
think
YouTube.
Ben Shapiro's Judaism is the reason as to why he would be on this?
100% without a doubt, yes.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, take your time. I know it's a lot to process.
Okay. Yeah, this is a lot to process.
Yeah, I know, man. It's tough. You really don't know what to say because it looks pretty
No,
bad.
because it's so fucking stupid, Ethan.
Well,
you
tell
look
me then.
Kind of dumb right
So
now.
why
you
is
look
Ben
kind
there?
of insane. That's
Okay,
why
very
I'm
good. Why
having
is
a
Ben
hard
there?
time. Like, I don't know why fucking Frogan made this thumbnail, and I don't care.
Why is Ben there?
I don't have any issue with this thumbnail.
Why is Ben there?
Because he is a prominent defender of Israel, I suspect.
You're quick to say that Jews aren't the only Zionists, right? So why is Ben Shapiro, of all the people in the world who are conservatives, who are Zionists, Christian Zionists, why Ben Shapiro? Me and Ben Shapiro and F Tier, the two most prominent Jewish creators on YouTube? That's a coincidence, just like the swastika, huh?
Ethan,
These are two cosmic coincidences, eh? Hasan, they're really stacking up.
the tier list that you're talking about, first of all, the tier list that we're talking about was literally designed by a Jewish content creator who you advocated to ban, and he got banned. His name
Very
is
good,
Rafi.
and I'm
You
glad he
called him
did.
a
He
token
definitely deserved
Jew.
it.
You called him a token Jew.
And I still stand by that. The man is
you
just
think-
fucking,
so you think that-
yeah.
So you get to draw swastikas on PewDiePie, but Rafi can't say that there is a tier list here where Sabra hummus.
This is Frogan's tier list. This is
the
her-
lowest. The Sabra hummus, liking Sabra hummus, is the lowest tier.
Ben
and the
Shapiro.
highest tier is being able to get a Habibi pass. You, as a Jew, get to determine what other Jews are able to do. You're the Pope of the Jews, as Sam Cedar likes to call Ben Shapiro.
I'm not determining what they
ironically
can
enough. Is that
do,
what's
but
going on?
this is Frogan's bit. This is her stage. This is her bit. I mean, you can say the Jewish dude is the fall guy
Ethan,
and
can
did
you
everything,
tell me-
but that's
wait,
not
so
true.
You get to draw swastikas, but Rafi can't even say Sabra hummus is dog shit.
He can say whatever he wants.
Oh, so
I'm
he
not
can't, but
criticizing.
you're
By the
gonna-
way,
you're
I'm
gonna
not.
call him a
You think
token
that my
Jew for
criticism is that he doesn't like Sabra hummus? Are you being serious right now? By the way, is that a beef? Hold on. What are you drinking?
It's a Dr. Pepper cream soda.
Isn't that who owns that?
I don't know, but it's not on the BDS national BDS
Are you
list.
sure?
Yes,
We'll double
I'm
check.
100% sure.
Okay, we'll double check that.
You
It's not about Sabra hummus, and like let's not be
Ethan,
obtuse.
actually, the
That's-
BDS one is actually pretty funny too, because like you've been, you consistently talk about how like I drink Diet Coke or whatever. When that fan came up to me and said stop drinking Diet Coke, it was not on the Palestinian National Committee's official BDS list.
Yes,
and
it was.
ever since it has
You're
been on
lying.
that official BDS list, I
You're
have
lying.
not drank Diet Coke or purchased any Diet Cokes at all.
You're lying. It was on the list.
Wait, what is
What? Yeah, it was on the list. You're lying.
what was on the list?
Coke.
Yes, it was put on the list, and I stopped purchasing Coke, and I stopped drinking Diet Coke, even though I love
You
Diet
said
Coke.
you know what's funny? You
Because
told
I
her.
think it's like not.
you
that
remember what you told her,
significant.
son? You remember? Yeah, you remember what you told her? You said, "I'll just put it in a cup."
Yeah, no, I was joking with her because I thought that it was a ridiculous request at the time because it wasn't on the Palestinian National Committee's official boycott, divestment, and sanctions list. Ethan,
Okay. It's not about Sabra hummus, just so you know. Like, let's not
Wait,
be
what is it
silly
about?
about this. It's about what's Sabra means a Jew born in Israel. It's an Israeli company. It's everybody knows it's like considered like Israeli hummus. It's been on the BDS
it's
list.
dog-
Everybody
it's
knows the
terrible.
connotations of Sabra
so-
hummus,
it's
right?
so doo-doo.
Nobody.
It is
yeah,
doo-doo
I don't
hummus.
like Sabra hummus either.
Do
But we're
we-
not
do-
talking about
okay,
hummus. What
okay,
I don't
great.
like is
So you-
anti-Semitism perpetuated by your friends and swept by you. Now, why is Ben Shapiro in the F tier? That's a cosmic coincidence. Okay, let's move on. Very good.
Ethan,
Go ahead.
I
Next
don't-
question.
I'm not Frogan.
I know.
and I don't know why.
I know. How can I make value judgments on my friends I've been defending for 2 years?
Also, there
can
is
say?
there is a tier list in front of me, and it seems like a bunch of people, both Jewish
Ben
and
Shapiro and
non-Jewish,
me
are
are in the
on
F
the
tier.
Loves Sabra tier list.
You're looking at the end. I'm looking at the thumbnail, bro. I'm talking about the thumbnail.
I know, but
right?
I first of all, again, I'm making inferences about editorial decisions that other people have made. I'm just simply speculating at this point. But you know, it's a.
Are
it's
you
a
not embarrassed
joke.
by this armpit hair? It's so cringy, bro. It's like so weird. I'm glad you changed that finally. On a separate note,
What?
I find it just so weird and bizarre that this was your thumbnail for so long. Also, ironically, wearing a Rolex hat, which is like probably
Yeah.
the symbol of capitalist excess.
Yeah. I got a free Rolex
Cool,
hat
dude.
from a friend of mine. I still wear it every now and then.
Yeah, and you're so, oh wow, who knew? So anyway,
Wait,
Ben
I'm so-
Shapiro was
wait, what?
accidentally in the
What does
F
this have to
tier.
do with anything? What's going on, man? What's happening?
Yeah, I know it's confusing. It's very confusing for you. It's like
Yeah,
a car
there's
crash, I'm sure.
So why do you think there's a
But-
Jewish man?
so
in
this
the
is a
A
cosmic
tier
mistake.
on
Let's
the,
move
on
on.
the tier list. If you think that it's like all about anti-Semitism and
Do you think that this is at least a bad coincidence?
no, I don't. I really
Well,
don't.
that's fantastic.
No, I don't think it's a bad coincidence at all. I think you're trying to find with a fine-tooth comb like any incidents
course.
that even
The Jewish
come across
man
as
is
remotely
crazy. He
anti-Semitic,
sees
and you're having a
anti-Semitism
really hard
everywhere.
time. Well,
There's-
you want my
these are
answer,
just
you want my
cosmic
perspective, I'm telling you.
mistakes.
If you want my perspective, I'm giving it to you. I think genuinely, at a time when there is unprecedented levels of
Yes,
open
I know. We
out
can't
and
talk about anything else. That's
anti-Semitism,
very convenient for you.
at a time when there's unprecedented levels of out and about anti-Semitism with incredibly prominent, oftentimes right-wing conservative figureheads actively talking about Jews, okay, in deeply anti-Semitic fashion, you have lasered in on people that you can't even actually catch, quote unquote, dead to rights because they're not anti-Semitic.
Well,
And
they're
you
not wearing
want
a
to
shirt that
make
says
them-
"I hate
it
Jews,"
seems
but they're
to me-
walking around
it seems to me like
swastikas
you-
and doing tier lists with Jews on the bottom. I mean, that's as
seems to
close as
me
you can pretty
like
much fucking
you-
get without them just saying "I hate Jewish people."
Ethan, it seems to me like you
And I
want
think you're
them
acting
to
really
be
silly and obtuse
anti-Semitic.
right now. The guy who's all about microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minorities and stuff, telling a Jewish man that he's hallucinating
Yes.
anti-Semitism and
I'm
won't
doing
even
that.
concede that this looks bad.
No,
okay,
you're
fantastic.
hallucinating anti-Semitism in this circumstance. I'm not
Very
saying
good.
anti-Semitism is not a prominent fixture of American politics.
Very good.
I actually do think that anti-Semitism has exploded in
Very brave of
popularity
you to
in
say.
American
Very brave.
politics, especially. So that's not my point at all. I'm saying you individually right now wish that these people were anti-Semitic. So you're trying
really
to
don't.
find anything you can hold on to.
It's
But
really
once
not a
again,
stretch, man.
None of those people are me. So I don't know why
Let's
we've
stop with the
devolved
value judgment thing.
conversation
Like you
away
can't make a
from-
decision. It sounds stupid as hell, dude.
Wait, I sound
Let me
stupid
ask-
as hell? What?
No, when you go, I can't draw. I'm not them. I mean, it's.
I mean, I don't know why you're asking me what their genuine decision making is.
Why would I
and
want my
don't know.
best friend
I can't
Idubs to
tell
be
you what their-
anti-Semitic?
What their process was.
Why would
But
I
don't
want
think
my
it's
best
an
friend
issue.
Idubs to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want that? You think I enjoy my friends and people around me
Can I be
being
honest? Do
anti-Semitic?
you want me to tell you why? I don't
I
think
would
you're gonna
love
like the
to
answer.
hear. Yeah, this is going to be good. Go ahead.
Okay. You want everyone that has criticized you to be anti-Semitic so that it makes you feel better about your position. It's not your own personal positions that you have explained to people that come across like you're using anti-Semitism as a shield to deflect criticisms against Israel. And that
This
if
is,
they are
what
actually
an
out and about
analysis.
anti-Semites, that'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable, like you've won the
Yes.
argument in your mind, and that your community would also finally go, oh yeah, you're right. You're a permanent victim in this situation. But because there's an unimaginable amount of anti-Semitism everywhere online, it comes across as shocking that you laser in on what you perceive are dog whistles when they're very clearly not even dog whistles at all. And I'll give you an example of this. Something that you did that I found very funny was you tweeted, or you don't tweet, sorry. You Instagram posted about my Theo Vaughn podcast appearance.
Sure
My
did.
Theo Vaughn podcast appearance where you were like, oh, I can't believe Theo Vaughn didn't actually ask him about his like dangerous anti-Semitism or any number of different things in the conversation, including, I think you talked about Rick Scott. Now, we did actually talk. Theo Vaughn and I did actually talk about Rick Scott.
Let's pull
I'm
that
sure you
clip
didn't see
up,
that.
Hasan.
But hold on. Let me finish. But what I found very strange about that was the fact that Theo Vaughn, and I didn't even know this at the time, the day prior to me, had actually interviewed Candace Owens. I think you and I both agree that Candace Owens is an anti-Semite, right?
I think that he was on that 1-2 punch.
Okay, so
Wow,
so
bow,
do you
bang.
think- Do you think
Hit him with that
Ethan-
anti-Semitism,
no,
boy.
Ethan, as your former
Like he was-
podcast
he was on a
co-host,
vibe.
as your former podcast co-host, do you think that I am anti-Semitic? One, and if you think I am, do you think I'm as anti-Semitic as Candace Owens?
So, yes, I think you're anti-Semitic at this point. I'm comfortable saying that.
At this
Are you
point.
as anti? Well, let
Can
me
you- okay,
finish.
then let's
Let
move
me
on from
finish. You
Frogan
asked me two
and let's
questions.
address
No.
what you think
You
I'm
asked
doing that's
me.
anti-Semitic.
Hold the phone. You asked me two questions together. I'm going to answer both. You said, do you think I'm anti-Semitic? after talking to you so far today, I can say unreservedly yes. I think that you are more anti-Semitic than Candace Owens? No. But I think your form of anti-Semitism is way more destructive and sinister. Candace Owens
so
is
you think I'm
outright.
anti-Semitic
Hold
now?
on there, Hasan. This is an important
You
question.
think I'm anti-Semitic now? Because 2 days ago you said
I'm
I
going
wasn't.
to answer. I'm going to answer.
Okay.
Um,
Or yesterday.
your form of
I think. Or 2 days ago?
anti-Semitism is way more insidious because it's silent, it's tricky. She's out there just saying what she believes, and I respect her for that. Nick Fuentes is just out there. Nobody knows that what's his stance on Israel. Candace Owens' stance on Israel. But you're tricky. What you do is deny the heritage of Middle Eastern Jews, stuff like that. You accuse them of being always the
What?
oppressor, always.
Can you
everything?
point to-
And by the way, you spent the first part of this debate calling me insane for what I think most people would perceive as blatant, obvious
Ethan,
anti-Semitic acts.
I don't think most people would look at what you're doing right now and think that
Well,
this
let's
is
not worry
a
about
sign
that.
of
Let's-
mental
let's-
sanity.
Well, we'll have time to pull the audience afterwards. So let's
Okay.
continue.
All right. Well, look. Going back to the Theo Von situation, and you said I'm anti-Semitic, right? Yesterday you said, or 2 days ago, in the aftermath of the Sam Cedar conversation, you said I'm not anti-Semitic. So what has changed in that process? Is it this conversation that you and I had?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right.
Here's the clip, by the way. You accused me of not.
that it won't, is-
You accused me of not mentioning that Theo Von did not ask you about Rick Scott. Let's go back and watch the clip.
No, I said
Because, like,
I didn't
of
say
what
in
you
the
just
clip.
said.
Bro,
I
you
said in your
literally look like the
Instagram
dude from
story.
Beetlejuice. That's crazy.
On your
The small head
Ethan,
guy?
I use my words very carefully. I said in the Instagram story that you posted. I don't
Small
watch
head
your
guy,
stream that
Beetlejuice.
much. I don't. I only see like
In the
bits and
waiting room?
pieces of it.
Bro, that's crazy. Do you see the resemblance?
What?
You're this guy from Beetlejuice. In this photo, you have like the same coat and shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
that's you are a comedian.
I sure am, buddy. I see you laughing. All right, anyway. So you accused me of misrepresenting what happened. Let's play the clip.
Right? $800 billion of Medicare and Medicaid that they want to cut. Mike Johnson goes on stage, goes on Caitlin Collins on CNN and says, oh, there's a lot of fraud happening. There's not fraud happening in Medicare and Medicaid on the point of the recipient.
Right.
It's happening on the point of the providers.
Right.
And that's why I got banned recently on
way.
Twitch yesterday. Because
Sorry about that one day.
So you just got back.
Yeah, Libs of TikTok was like posting about how I said
Wait, what
something.
is this?
And they misconstrued it as though it was a call to action to assassinate.
Wait, why are you showing me this?
Senator?
Well, you're saying I didn't bring this up, or I'm saying that Theo didn't bring this up. He didn't. You brought it up, framed it in your own way to basically preempt a tough question. Yeah.
Ethan, I said on the Instagram story that you posted about me, Dan, can you switch it back to Ethan?
Don't switch it back, Dan. I'm just kidding.
That's-
Go ahead.
I'm switching it back. 1 second.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
I
This
know,
looks
man.
ridiculous on my end.
It sure
I'm
does,
sorry.
buddy.
Okay. So yeah, this was if you want,
And
you
it's
can
not
also
just
pull
'cause
up
of the
post
video.
as well. But the post I was referring to was make sure Theo knows how you feel about hosting a terrorist adjacent content creator. And I believe there was another post about it or something. But again,
I said he was irresponsible to platform you and not ask you difficult questions.
So the question I have for you once again is like he had Candace Owens on. Like, do you
Yeah.
feel like that's a little bit more
Yeah.
damaging in terms of spreading potentially anti-Semitic narratives? Or do you think that anti-Semitism is when you feel bad personally, and that could be any number of different things that I've done in any given moment?
Yes, I think you were just as bad as her in your own special way, and that's
You
why.
think I'm just
And
as
you guys
bad
were
as
hitting that
Candace
same
Owens
flavor.
on anti-Semitism in my
Yes.
own special way?
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right,
Very
cool.
good. Very good.
Can
So let me ask
can
you a question.
explain-
Hasan, can I ask you a
now
question?
Officially, not talk about like Frogan or anyone else, and tell me why I'm anti-Semitic. Because
Well, we're
yesterday,
kind
2
of
days ago,
getting
you said
there.
I wasn't, but But also
I already-
for a year,
You're repeating yourself.
well, I am, because you haven't answered this question.
I
2
have
days ago,
literally
you said I
answered it
wasn't
probably
anti-Semitic.
2 times.
For
The
a
reason that I'm
year-
saying
for
you're
a
anti-Semitic is
year-
because how you responded to my questions at the beginning of this interview.
Ethan, for an entire year, you called me a virulent anti-Semite, a rabid
No,
anti-Semite. You
never did.
You did. You went back
Did
and
not.
forth on it.
I have
Even
actually
Dan
went
checked
back
you
and
on it.
checked. I
Even-
had said that you spread anti-Semitism and stuff, but I never called you an anti-Semitic. I went
so
back
I was
and
just
checked.
simply
You're lying.
spreading anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Is about Habibi, not Sabr. You're conceding to the framing. Yeah, we're not conceding to anything. I don't want to even talk about the tier list anymore. Stop it. Okay.
Okay, let me ask you. My turn. Do you
right, your
think it's
turn.
appropriate to accuse? Do you think it's appropriate to accuse any Jewish person you disagree with of working with the ADL?
No, I don't. I
Here,
don't think
for
it's
example, is
appropriate.
someone
But if you're
using it
talking about me saying
anti-Semitically.
that Ethan Klein and ADL in unison got
Hassan, let me
got
finish.
people-
You're
got people
getting
deplatformed,
ahead of
then
yourself,
yes,
buddy.
I do think that that's a
You're getting
valid
ahead of
thing
yourself, man.
That's a valid thing to not only speculate, but also I stand on
Hold
that
the
for sure.
phone. Hassan, I'm getting there. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy. Here's an example of it being used in an anti-Semitic way. I'm sure you'll agree. Timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Who is this? What is this?
This is your fan who ran up on me on Rodeo.
Who the fuck is this guy? My fan?
Yeah,
This
you
wait,
remember.
Is this the guy?
wait,
wait,
yeah,
wait,
you
wait.
remember.
No, this is the guy that you claimed was my fan, right? He was calling me the fucking F slur.
I mean, there's a
on-
clip
on
of
the
being
time.
like,
He's not a fan.
yo, I love this dude. Anyway, who cares if he's your fan or not? The point is,
Hold on. Hold on. You brought
No,
this dude up.
It doesn't matter.
And I believe
I'm
this is not
showing
the
him
first
as
time
an
you brought this
example
dude up.
of you.
It does matter. It does matter.
Okay,
You brought
fine.
him
He's
up.
not a fan. I don't care.
You brought him up.
Listen,
Wait, what do you mean you don't care? Now
if
you
I
don't
brought
care.
him up, Hassan, if I
He
brought
is-
him up,
that
let me
person is
finish
not
my
a fan of
point.
mine. Why did
Save
you?
it.
Why did you make it seem like that person was a fan of
Hassan,
mine then?
Let me get to there, okay? You
No,
asked
get
me.
there right
It's
now.
my turn to ask a question.
Why do you
Just
think
because I
this
brought
random
him up
fucking guy
doesn't
is
give
a
you
fan
the
of mine,
space to
Ethan? Is it
interject.
because he rolled up to me and tried
Let
to
me
fucking
finish.
clout farm? Is that why? At the
Yes.
encampments
Okay,
where I
thank
was
you very
very
much.
clearly disturbed by his presence? Is that
Hassan,
why?
I think you know where I'm going, and I think you're scared.
Ethan, can you
Yeah,
answer
let me-
the question? Why did
let me
you
f-
falsely claim that this fucking random
Because
dude
he's
who
on
does
video
not
saying
like
he
me
loves you, that you're
is
his
a
favorite
fan of
person in the
mine?
world. What do you
Didn't
mean?
Wait.
All right,
Didn't
Hassan,
you
here you
use
go,
him
buddy.
approaching you?
Here we go. You
Didn't
wanted
use
it,
him
I've got it.
approaching
Love
you?
you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so
I
sorry.
love you.
I'm so
I
sorry.
love you.
I
bro.
love
feel
you,
like this is
bro.
an environment
You're my hero, bro.
You're the
comfort
GOAT.
for me.
You're the coolest guy in the world, bro.
Wow, how crazy.
You look gay in that
I'm
photo.
fucking, is this another hysterical delusion?
Yes, it is, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why. Because we spent
Wow,
a good
dude,
deal
I
of
love you. You're the
encampment-
GOAT, bro.
We spent a good deal of our time in the encampment. If you watch the unedited full live stream, we spent a good deal of the entirety
seen
of the
that.
encampment running away from him because he kept trying
Well,
to ask me
listen.
dumbass fucking questions. For
Okay,
his
but that's
own
got nothing to do with he's a
dumbass-
fan.
For his
Listen,
own dumbass
Hassan,
podcast.
please, you're
I-
derailing this, and I need
I'm
to
not derailing
make
it.
an.
It's not
You
called derailing.
absolutely
When
are.
I'm telling you I was there and I'm telling you the situation. You
very
are
good.
nefariously making it seem as though this person is a massive fan of mine.
Do I need
He
to
was
play
just
the
trying to
clip
clout
again?
chase.
I'll play it again. You know.
You can play that clip again.
Oh my God.
Here, I'll add
I love you,
subtitles.
Hasan. Can I
Can
give
you
you a
play
hug,
the
bro?
I'm
Can
so
you play
sweaty,
the clip
bro.
where
I love
he
you, bro. I'm
openly
so
admits he
sorry.
doesn't know who I am and
I have
asks
to interview
people
you. You're
around?
like
Because that
hero,
also
bro.
happened in
You're
the
my hero, bro. I love
You're
you.
the coolest guy in the world.
You're the
bro.
coolest guy in the world.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one.
I think I look gay in that one.
Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
If
You
you
okay?
think he was a fan of mine, why'd you call him a Sneeko fan when you interviewed him?
Because he's both. I mean, surely there's
Oh.
crossover.
Oh, there's a crossover.
Do I need to play the video
Okay,
again?
well,
I'll do it again.
My
Fuck it.
producer
Yeah.
and my camera
play it
op,
again.
March.
Oh
My producer and my
God,
camera
bro, I
op,
love
March,
you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
was
I'm so sweaty,
there.
bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so
And he's
sorry.
in the
I love
chat
you,
right
bro.
now.
I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're the
Ethan.
coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay.
Listen, he might not be a fan, but you can't accuse me of being delusional for saying
You
that.
are delusional.
Okay,
You
very
are.
good. I'm delusional. Let me get to my point, please.
I mean,
so I'm not even asking you to endorse this guy. I'm just simply showing you.
I don't endorse him, and he's
I know
not a
you
fan
don't.
of mine. So why did you claim that he was a fan of mine? Because he fucking clout
I'll play it
chased-
again. I mean, I feel like
because he
we're
was
running in
clout
circles,
chasing
but I'll
at a
play the
fucking
clip
Palestinian
again.
encampment. That's why. That's all it takes for you.
No, it was when he said, "You're the GOAT. You're my hero. I love you."
He didn't know who I was. He was just saying that so he could fucking ask for an interview
He
for his
literally
podcast,
recognized
for his
you.
POA podcast.
Okay, who cares? I don't care.
Wait,
So
now
let me
you
move
don't
on.
care.
Do you want to
It
talk
seems
about this
like-
for 2 hours, or do you
it
want to
seems
actually
like
have a
this is
conversation?
wait, well, hold on. You can't just say you don't care all of a sudden when you look like a fucking asshole for falsely claiming that some random person who
I'll play it
stalked
again.
you is a fan of mine. You said he was a fan of mine in. I believe in your in
Okay,
one
I
of
lied.
your videos.
Yeah,
you
I
said he
lied
was a
about
fan
him
of
being a
mine, and I was
fan.
sending harassment your way.
I concede. Yes.
Don't you think
very
that's
good.
a big point of contention? Don't you feel like this is a big
I
point of
concede.
contention?
I concede. I want to show you an example
do you
of.
see my side of this though? Because
I
like
think-
a
no,
random,
you're
a
being
random
dishonest.
a random Sneeko fan comes up to me, wants
random
to clout
Hasan
chase,
fan comes up to
and
you.
yeah, wants to clout chase, and you turn around and you say that he is a fan of mine to prove a point, to make a false point that to imply that I'm sending people to harass you. Do you feel
That's
like
not
that's
what I implied.
appropriate?
That's a total lie. I have never accused you of anything of the sort.
So
That
you
is an
didn't-
outright,
you did not imply
horrific,
that this person that was a
bad
fan
faith
of mine
lie.
was
Yes, I
actually
did.
harassing you.
Yes. Now, that's a big logical leap, Hasan, from he's a fan of yours to you're sending people to harass me. That's fucking insane. And by the way,
Did
I
he
mean,
not
you
harass you?
are a liar. You know that,
Did he
right?
not harass you?
Bro, what are you talking about?
he not
you
harass
send
you?
him? Did you send him to harass me? No.
Did he harass you and then you imply in your video
Okay, who
that he was a
cares,
fan of
bro?
mine, leading
ahead, when
the
you're done.
audience
Go-
to
go,
believe,
I'll
leading
wait.
the audience to believe. Here, we have a clip, by the way, Dan, if you want to play this supposed fan of mine, since you guys are playing clips over there.
By
you
the way,
can
this
probably
was
play
a
its
while though. He
timestamp.
turned on you when he saw that you support trans rights. I know. He spoke ill of you.
No. Even before he actually
Bro, who
meets
cares?
me.
I'm not even mad. I don't care about this guy.
No, well, seemingly you care enough about it that you brought him up
just-
here and you used him in the past.
You didn't even let me explain why I'm
you used
showing
him in
it.
the past to act like I was sending hate your
Bro,
way.
you're terrified because you know where this is going.
I have no idea where this is going. This has been a journey.
Well, how about you let me fucking speak, and then we can figure out, we can take the journey
you play
together.
This clip, though?
So this clip is just an example, not that you're endorsing him, not that he's a fan.
Dan, I sent you a clip.
I passed it along. It's out of my hands.
It's the first
I'll play it, I'll
introduction
play it, I'll
of
play
this
it.
character
Yeah,
onto the stream where he's like, "Who is this guy?"
I'll play it, yeah.
Pothead or pot man. Is that it? Hey.
I can be on. Are you guys doing interviews? I'm Palestinian. I know I look Jewish.
He doesn't.
Oh, no, we're just streaming.
Israeli. I look like Israeli.
We're just, the guy, normally the answer would be yes, but he's busy right now.
What are you guys doing?
You're not there.
We're just streaming.
It's live stream.
Oh, live streaming?
Yeah.
Dude.
You're not even in this clip, bro. What are you talking about? You're not even
wait.
present.
What?
You're out playing with swastika
Yes.
swords or something. You're not even in this clip.
Dude, why? Chat. I think he's showing it on his side. You're not seeing the clip.
played it.
Yes. Yeah. He's showing the
It's
clip.
really, it's
That
okay.
is that
Can
is
I-
the
bro,
first introduction of this character onto the broadcast, and he doesn't know who the fuck I am. He just sees cameras and goes, "Oh, I would like to do interviews with this person who is famous." It seems that was the whole point. The reason why I showed you that is because he was never a fucking fan, and then when he saw the full extent of my viewpoints, he started calling me the F slur. He's a Sneeko fan.
Hasan, in that clip, he doesn't see you. You're not there.
Ethan, he is a clout chaser and not a
Fine,
fan.
bro. I don't care. Who cares?
Well,
let me
I
ask
do
you a
care
question.
because
okay,
I
very
do
good.
care because you have made an inference that is
Oh my God,
erroneous.
dude. You are
have made an
dragging your
inference
feet
that
on this
is-
topic, bro. It's getting ridiculous.
You've made
Can
an
we
inference
please move
that
on?
is ridiculous.
This clip
and
you
also
sent didn't prove me
false.
wrong at all. You're not there. And you were never there, Hasan. Okay, let's continue, please.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an example of someone who I think is anti-Semitic. You probably agree with me on that, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. He's
Yeah,
not
I
a
think-
fan
no,
of
no,
yours.
no, I think that
He's-
guy. I
yeah.
mean, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
any number of different things I've seen from that dude, I think he's like a right-wing dating coach or something.
Yeah, he is. Dating Money 101, baby.
Yeah.
Just like and sub. All right, so here he is using the ADL. He accuses me of being in the ADL, and I'll play it.
Okay.
I don't know, but I heard you survived it, and I heard you survived the Holocaust.
That timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I heard you're in the ADL, bro.
The ADL? No, I'm not. All right, so he says, I heard you're in the ADL, bro, which, like, obviously is, I perceive that as
I don't think you're in
anti-Semitic.
the ADL, Ethan, if that's what you're going to say.
Well, you said, and I'll quote a tweet that you made.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You said, I'll quote, he worked with the ADL to make Zionists a protected class on Twitch. Now, that is an outright lie.
I don't think it's an outright lie.
I worked
took
with the
credit over it,
ADL.
didn't you?
Sorry. I worked with the ADL. What does that mean?
Yeah, as in like worked alongside. I don't think you're in the ADL.
Real? Oh, that's what you meant when you said I worked with the ADL. I worked beside them, just incidentally together. You didn't mean that I worked with them privately to get people banned? Of course not.
No, I do think that. I stand by that.
Didn't you say
I
you
think
choose
that
your words
worked
very carefully?
Alongside the ADL.
You just told me
concerns.
briefly ago, you choose your words very carefully, Hasan.
Not always. I'm famously.
Oh, okay. We're walking that back. Sometimes I speak out the side of my mouth when I say you work with the ADL. Here you are again repeating the lie with Steiny on video. Go ahead. You had time
Constantly come after me when his knows I'm not anti-Semitic and making these inferences that I am, and like partnering with like the ADL and
partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one there, buddy?
Yeah. Again, partnering with the ADL. That is precisely what took place.
I have never spoken to the ADL, so what does that mean?
I'm not saying you directed the ADL to take
You know
action.
how
Well,
silly
actually, you know what?
you
I am
look.
kind of saying that. I am implying that you directed the ADL to take action. You are
Well, that's a defamatory claim that has zero proof.
You are
and frankly, it sounds a little Jewish conspiratorial.
If I thought that you worked for the ADL, I wouldn't have said you worked
I've not
with
spoken
the
to the ADL.
I would have said you worked for the ADL. Now, what's interesting to me, of course, about this is
Hasan,
that you have taken
I do not
credit
work
for
with the
these
ADL.
bans.
Hasan, I do not work with the ADL.
You were a part of the mass smear campaign with
That
your
is not
YouTube
working with the
videos
ADL. Would you say that
falsely claimed
I got nothing
that
to do with the ADL? Blame Frogan for doing a racist fucking panel at TwitchCon that became a
that
viral
wasn't a
story
racist
independent
panel,
of me.
Ethan, just like cracker is not an anti-white term.
Okay,
except public pressure clearly works on Twitch, and they make erroneous bans when they don't want people coming after them. Twitch has
Here's Frogan repeating the same lie that she heard from you.
on numerous
Acting like
instances.
with the last
This is
year
what
and
she
a half,
learned from you.
Everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a
So
joke.
she said I weaponized the ADL. You said I partnered with the ADL. You said I worked with the ADL, but you didn't mean that I spoke to them. You just meant that we were magically skipping along and happened to just, without even seeing each other, just working together in perfect harmony and love. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you're implying that I worked directly with them on this.
No, I don't think you worked.
Okay, well,
directly
you
with them.
doubled down on it. You said that you do believe that, and I just want to let you know that
No,
that
I
is
don't
a
think you directly work
that
with
is a
them. I think your goals are aligned on this. Yes, and
But then, for Mr. Precise words, say that. Don't say you're partnered with the ADL. Do you understand? You said partnered with the ADL. Me, a Jewish man, you accuse without any evidence at all of being partnered with the ADL.
Ethan,
You're now trying to rewrite history and say, I said you were working besides
you took ownership
them.
over it. What are you
liar.
talking about?
You are a virulent fucking liar.
Ethan, did you or did you not take ownership over the bans?
I think, yeah, I might have. Does that mean that I'm working with the ADL?
Ethan?
Hey, Hasan, can I ask you a question? Are you working with the Neo-Nazi Party of America? Because they're also anti-Zionist. No, seriously, are you working with the Neo-Nazi Group of America who's also anti-Zionist?
Ethan, have
Do
I
you
ever
work with
taken
them?
credit?
Are you affiliated with
Have I
them? Are
ever
you
taken credit
are
for
you
an
partnered with
anti-Semitic
neo-Nazis?
incident
Or,
that the
or do
neo-Nazis
you guys happen to have the same
I have a
goal
question
and
for
are
you.
completely related?
Here's a parallel for you. Have I taken credit for a
Jesus, man.
neo-Nazi anti-Semitic incident that took place? Because if the answer is yes, if neo-Nazis
Swastika sword,
actually
baby.
engaged in an action, neo-Nazis actually, not like your fucking hallucinations, something that we all agree. Like neo-Nazis did an anti-Semitic incident and I took credit for it and I said, this is awesome. I'm glad that it happened. I made numerous videos so that they would do this. Yes, you would be.
I was on the
valid
tier
in
list, bro.
saying that comparison.
It was literally targeting me. I was on the tier list.
Especially
Why wouldn't I
considering
respond?
Ethan.
I don't have to be a member of ADL to respond to someone harassing me.
Listen to
Are you
my
fucking
words, please.
dumb?
Listen to my words.
I'm
Okay?
trying, but it's just
Listen to
fucking
my words.
lies and filth and like empty air.
From your perspective, my association as a 10-year fighter of anti-Semitism, my association from your perspective with anti-Semitism is like something that is so laughable that I don't even know how to describe.
Good.
Like you're like, oh, it's a swastika sword, but then you admit that it's not a swastika sword. That's how loose this association
It
is.
looks like
but on the other
okay,
hand,
bro.
I can't
Stupid.
say that you have worked alongside the ADL.
That's not what you said.
In getting streamers
You said I'm
banned.
partnered with.
That's
Partnered
anti-Semitic.
with.
You took
You are
credit for
lying.
it, my
You are
man.
rewriting. You are not taking accountability. You said I'm partnered with the
Ethan,
ADL.
I can't take
Do
accountability
you
for your
think-
hallucinations.
Hasan, do you think that the normal, reasonable person watching that will infer that we were just coincidentally working the same, or that I was working directly with them?
What do you think a reasonable
What
person
do you
would
think the
infer
average
when
person
you
would
take
conclude
credit for
from
the
saying
bans?
I'm partnered with the ADL?
What do you think a normal, reasonable person would infer when they hear you, Ethan
you are
Klein,
literally
make
gaslighting me.
numerous
It's
videos
so
demanding
obvious what
the
you
bans
meant.
of Twitch streamers, and then after they are banned, you say, I'm glad that they got banned. I take credit for it. What would a normal, reasonable person infer from that?
I was on the tier list, dude.
What?
I was responding to them. It wasn't like it wasn't like I went out of my way to get them banned. I responded to them. I was on the tier list. There's been 3 instances, I think, of, in my opinion, very credible accusations of anti-Semitism. You've accused me of hallucinating all 3 now, which is very convenient.
Because they're
and
not
also,
credible. We are not in agreement. These are not credible allegations of anti-Semitism. These are hysterical hallucinations of a person who desperately wants all of his critics to be anti-Semites so he can feel comfortable.
I'm so glad this is on record.
In the unique position that he has created for himself.
I'm so glad this is on record. So
Yeah,
you think
I'm
that?
glad you. Yes.
So you think that you think a reasonable person would hear you say he's partnered with the ADL? And not think that I was working
I think a
directly with
reasonable
them?
person will hear your own words and think that you probably worked directly inside of the ADL.
Have I ever
didn't even
mentioned the
make that
ADL?
inference.
Have I ever mentioned the ADL?
You took credit for
Did I
the
ever
ban.
mention the ADL, Hasan? Answer the
It doesn't
question.
matter. You took credit for the ban that the ADL pressured.
Do I ever mention the ADL in my entire fucking career?
I'm laughing in your face, idiot. And I
Actually,
did that shit. I'll take credit for it. I
but
fucking did
didn't
that
even
shit.
know what they were.
I hope she gets permanently
frankly,
banned.
If you have the thing, it was even. Did
Yeah,
I ever?
It's a clip where you are saying, I did that
Okay.
shit. I'll fucking take credit for it. You know who did that shit? The ADL did. You are taking credit for something that the ADL did. I'm not even making that inference. You're saying,
Well, they attacked
which
me.
one do you think? What do you think the average person would
Oh,
think
you
in
sound
this
so
situation
silly, bro.
when you are saying that you did that shit? And it's the ADL's pressure that caused these people to be banned for such a ridiculous,
I was being silly. I don't
stupid,
care.
not
Listen,
anti-Semitic thing at
listen.
all.
I was being silly. They attacked me. I responded. Do
Oh,
I
you were
know?
being
Do I know who?
silly.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, all right. I guess we can move on then.
Well,
Now
do
you're
I
being
think I
silly.
got them banned? I don't know. Who knows? You know.
Yeah,
I
you
think
got a Jewish content creator alongside multiple Arab content creators banned off the platform for 30 days because you
There's a
cried
reason
about
they
it,
call
and
him
then the ADL
token, my
actually
friend.
reacted
You
because they
spend
saw it
time
as a
being a
great
token, you're gonna
opportunity.
get spent.
But it was just silly. You know, fuck them, right?
You want to
Silly.
cash in on your Jewish friends anymore? Or can we move on?
Am I what?
Would you like to cash in on your Jewish friends more, or can we move on?
Cash in on my Jewish friends.
That's right. Do you know any Jewish people that aren't anti-Zionists?
Yes.
Who?
I'm not going to review.
Oh.
I don't want to. They're normies. I don't want to dox
Okay.
them.
Yeah, you're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're surrounded.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are. You're absolutely lying.
Dog, I live in West Hollywood. You think I'm not around Zionist Jews? What are you talking about?
Yeah, do you pass Jews on the street? Yes. Are you friends with?
No, I'm friends. Yes,
Okay,
I am.
Very good. I
And
don't believe
they've
you.
treated me with much more dignity than you have, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, because
surprisingly
they're
enough.
not
We
on the
can have a more
receiving end of
normal
an insane
conversation.
fucking
I can have a more
harassment
normal
campaign.
conversation with
Why would
them
they? Why
than
wouldn't
you,
they?
seemingly.
All right, so you
They would
think
most
that
likely laugh at
just to
all of
recap,
this.
just
if
just to
they're watching.
recap here, but so we can move on. I mean, did the random Zionist Jews that are treated you so kindly, did they have CPS show up to their house or skulls sent to their house?
Ethan, I didn't do that.
Ethan.
I didn't say you did that.
I don't know why you're bringing that up.
I know you
that has
don't, but
nothing
you're
to do with
acting
me.
up.
I'm not
Part
in
of
support
your
of
shtick,
that.
Hasan, is acting obtuse when you're caught in a corner.
All right. You've dominated the conversation so far. I think we should get back to some stuff that.
I agree. Let's just summarize.
No. Look, can we just get back to Israel?
This is
Palestine,
quick.
please?
It's
'Cause,
very quick.
You see as a genocide.
I just want to put a cap on this. Just a cap.
And
You're
making
doing
these
the thing that I'm
inferences
so
I am,
critical of
and,
you
like,
on. Okay.
Partnering with like the ADL. And
You said so. Just to put a cap on this, and we'll move on. You said I'm quote partnered with the ADL, which you now claim was just a. You didn't mean that I was working with them. You mean that we had the same goal. Okay, very good. We'll see how that plays. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. It's interesting because you're currently doing the thing that I'm criticizing you on, where you are looking at a situation that you recognize is a genocide, and your only consideration and your only concern
It's not my only
revolves
concern. I care
around-
about multiple things, my friend.
Yes, you can, but these are really stupid things to care about, Ethan.
I mean, that's
And
easy for you to say. You're the one being accused of it. Let's just let's
no
ask
one-
the
no
accused how serious their crime is. Fucking brilliant. O.J. Simpson, do you think that this is a serious
Do you
court
think
case?
that
No,
the
I don't.
Sabra
Well,
Hummus's
fucking
shit
there it
tier-
is. Let's
you
let
think
him
that
free.
The Sabra Hummus's shit tier is akin to O.J. Simpson killing someone.
No, obviously not. You're
Then
being
why are
obtuse
you
again.
bringing up stupid fucking
Because
parallels?
you are saying that the accused, right, can dictate how serious the accusations are.
Okay. All right, Ethan.
I'm
have in the
partnered with the
past-
ADL.
You
Remember
have in
what
the
you
past
said.
talked about your pro-Palestinian bona fides. You have talked
What
about
do you
how
mean bona
you
fides?
gave my fundraiser. What?
Sorry, what do you mean by bona fides?
Like you've claimed that you are a stalwart ally of the Palestinian cause. You
Correct.
tried to also say this to Sam Cedar as well. You brought
Mm-hmm.
forward the fact that you had given $6,500 in your context puke that
Mm-hmm.
you did as a further indication that you are pro-Palestinian. Even though you then turned around and actually criticized additional fundraisers that had taken place, like the Creators for Palestine charity that generated $1.3 million, including the fundraiser that you initially had given $6,500 to as a reason for why you were such a staunch ally. Why did you turn around and say that pro-Palestinian fundraisers are actually completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things and completely useless? Do you think that pro-Palestinian
Yeah.
charities are simply there to make yourself feel like you're pro-Palestine? Do you feel like $6,500 was enough for you to
I'll
spend
answer.
the rest of the year actively deplatforming pro-Palestinian content
People
creators?
harassing me?
What?
I'll answer your question.
All right.
So I claimed when talking about, now, by the way, this is something I criticize you for, which is, being obtuse, mischaracterizing arguments, and basically just being a prolific liar. So here's what the conversation was about, right? I was talking about how when you're talking about activism, raising money isn't the most important thing because it can only do so much. There's other ways to do effective activism, like protesting, et cetera, working with Palestinian organizations. So I'm just saying, my point was not
But you
that.
wanted me to be
Hold the
deplatformed as a
phone. Let me
virulent
finish.
anti-Semite, and I've done all of those things.
My point was that not that raising money is bad or dumb or pointless, as you erroneously claim I said. My point was that it's not the most effective thing in the world, and there's other things. It's probably like the least effective form of advocacy you can do. That was my opinion.
I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that the Palestinians that received
What's
those.
not the case? What I said or what I claim?
No, your claim is wrong in
Okay, that's
terms of
fine.
the
Can disagree.
fundraisers not being important.
That's fine.
So we've established that you claim to be pro-Palestine, and yet you've spent all of the genocide coverage criticizing people,
Attacking
who
people
are
that harass me.
fundraising, creating, working with Palestinian organizations.
I never said it's not important.
Interviewing Palestinians from Gaza.
Hassan, being an
and
advocate for
claiming that
Palestine
they
does not
are-
absolve you of criticism.
claiming
Stop with
that
the
they
silliness.
are anti-Semitic. No, this does not, because your criticisms are ridiculous. My point I'm trying
Well,
to make
I mean, that's
here
kind of up
is
to other
that
people to
your
decide at this
criticisms
point.
are in your own mind. Like you have hallucinated an alternative
By
reality.
the way, gaslighting, anti-Semitic trope. This is what dog whistles are. You whistle to other people, and you have it's subtle enough
Ethan, people
that you have
being mean to
plausible
you is not
deniability, so
anti-Semitism.
that when you get accused of being anti-Semitic, you can call the accuser crazy, which is exactly
Ethan,
what you're doing.
Ethan,
You are a fucking
Ethan,
anti-Semite, and you've been caught out
Ethan.
3 different times, calling me crazy for very viable, very credible examples of anti-Semitism that you should at least be able to admit are at least not insane, maybe a misunderstanding, but not insane. But no, according to you, they're all hallucinations. So go ahead and tell me why you're not dog whistle.
Because people having an issue with your statements and with your coverage on as a prominent content creator with a relatively progressive audience, your coverage has entirely focused on
Nope, you're wrong,
your
wrong.
own personal feelings
Not
and a lot
entire.
of misplaced paranoia from people who are criticizing you.
There you go, dog whistle.
literally think that people
we get a whistle
criticizing you
soundbite
or
every
not
time he calls me
liking you
paranoid or
is
hallucinating?
anti-Semitism. That's not
You
the
got a
case.
whistle?
I used to like you. I don't know anymore. And I don't think it's because of anti-Semitism.
I know.
didn't,
I definitely
develop
don't like you.
anti-Semitism After doing a
Let
podcast
me
with you for 2
stand on
years.
business and say I think you're a terrible person and a liar, and I don't like you at all.
I know. I still wish you
I know.
well. I do. I wish you well, and I really do hope.
I wish everybody well. Everybody, be well.
No, not-
All right, let's move on. You got it. You want any more? Call me crazy or hallucinating again? Is that
I don't
all you
even
got?
need to do that. I think you're doing that all on your own. to
see.
be fair.
Yeah, we'll see. So do you want to tell me what is your evidence that I work with or talk to or have any association with at all with Destiny?
What? Destiny?
What? What?
I
What?
know,
The guy
I
that I
had to-
talked about fucking obsessively 100 times a day? That is like basically like the Antichrist, the Lord Voldemort in my community? Yeah, you accuse me of working with him, knowing him, talking to him. What is your evidence for that?
Oh, thank you for asking. Not
Oh, you're
only is
very
there
welcome.
video footage of you corresponding with someone in your Discord that literally aligns perfectly with Destiny's own Discord, offering clips for you to pull.
That sounds like a stretch.
You've also used clips that are unlisted called Hamasabi when making arguments about
gives a
my
fuck?
virulent anti-Semitism from
gives a
a
fuck? I pulled a
unlisted
clip.
link that came from a Destiny fan account.
So
But
that's your
also-
proof that
but
I work
none
with
of that is
Destiny.
relevant. What's relevant
Okay.
is your constant coordination with Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman, who you featured on your context nuke. So yeah, I don't
I
think it's that
feature him in my
ridiculous of a fucking
my con-
assertion to make, especially when
what it
considering
was.
the fact that you have been corresponding with Dan Saltman, and you did, and he is Destiny's podcast co-host, and the what does he call himself? The general of the Hezbollah, I think that's what they call themselves, the Taliban and the Hezbollah, their mass harassment
How the
operation
fuck
that
would
they
I know?
engage in.
So
yeah, I think that is not a ridiculous fucking claim to make at all.
It's actually insane, and it's a really convenient way of discrediting me when I've never
No, I
spoken
think
to,
you're doing
worked
enough
with,
to discredit
talked about
yourself all
Destiny
on
in
your
my
own. I don't
life.
need to bring that up.
It's a really nice way of you. You know what? I think you're hallucinating, buddy.
Okay.
I think you are you pulled a meme from his subreddit once. And
No,
and
that's not-
there
that's
was a
not the
guy
only
in your
reason. Did I bring
Discord
that
that's
up?
also in his Discord. I think you're
didn't say any of those
hallucinating.
things.
You sound fucking unhinged, dude. Are you crashing out, Hassan?
Ethan, I didn't say that.
Hassan, are you crashing out? Do you have friends who are aware of the condition and can help you get the help you need?
Okay, Ethan.
You're delusional.
You featured Destiny's podcast co-host.
I said
that
he
you
discovered the
correspond
IP
with.
ban. Is that not true? I said Dan Saltman discovered the IP ban. That's all I said. I didn't endorse. I didn't. All I said is he discovered the IP ban. Is that true? Is that materially true?
I don't think so.
It is.
I think
It is.
someone in Destiny's community did, but it's fine. Yeah, you brought that up.
So how is that an endorsement?
Ethan, are you claiming that
Ethan?
you don't have
Is this what
direct
you do whenever you're
correspondence
trying
with
to
Dan
avoid
Saltman?
Ethan? Hassan, are you hallucinating?
Ethan,
Hassan?
do you not correspond with Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman?
I've talked to Dan Saltman, but also I don't think that that's Destiny, is it?
Yeah, no, that's just his podcast co-host and is perfectly aligned
You
with him and uses his
say-
community to brigade, and also has literally tried to blackmail people in Destiny's own
I
community.
don't really
for
fucking care because that's
literally
not Destiny,
unearthing
is it?
sex crimes that he did.
Man,
Do you feel
you
like
are
that's
really
a good person
hallucinating.
to align with? That you
I'm
now
not
openly
endorsing
admit-
him. I'm not endorsing him at all. I just said I've spoken to
No,
him.
yeah, you're not endorsing him. You're just getting information.
Have
from
you
him
ever
to
spoken
use.
to somebody you don't endorse? I mean, what kind of silly bullshit are we doing here?
Certainly. That is, yes.
Well,
I
there
speak
you
to
go.
people I
Oh my
don't
God,
endorse. I'm
dude.
speaking to one right
Dude,
now.
you talked to Dan Saltman. You're fucking outed as a Destiny's best friend.
Ethan, you're the one who admitted that just now. You also
I said I've
brought
spoken
forward,
with Dan Saltman, not that I'm a Destiny collaborator, which is what you claim, which is an outright, pathetic, provably wrong lie. And this is part of your disinformation campaign to delegitimize my
don't think I
points
need to
without ever
delegitimize you
having
by
to address
associating
them.
you with
And
Destiny.
isn't that convenient? You never have to address anything I say because you can just say, Ethan's friends with Destiny. Ethan's hallucinating.
Ethan, I don't think
Hasan?
I didn't bring up Destiny. You did. And
Yeah,
also
because you lied about me for 2 years working with them.
2 years.
That's right. Hasan, listen.
Ethan, this is kind of embarrassing. to
Year and a
admit,
half.
But I defended you both to my community and in general because I thought that you were a lot more open-minded until pretty
What
much
have we disagreed on?
the December of
What have we disagreed
2024.
on? I'm
What?
sorry. What am I not open-minded about? What have we disagreed on, Hasan, other than me criticizing you and your friends? What have I said against the Palestinian people? Go ahead.
What we are
What do we disagree
disagreeing
on?
on is what you choose to focus on and
that
what
seem
you
significant?
think is the major point of contention here.
Well, that's first of all, I'm what I choose to focus on is certainly something you
It's
can
a little
critique.
frivolous.
But does that justify like lying about me continually for a year and a half just because you don't like where I'm focused? That seems immaterial.
Lying about what?
About me being a Destiny fan, about hallucinating, sweeping for your anti-Semitic friends, lying about context, saying that my video's out of context without watching it. Hasan, take your time.
Do you feel like your video wasn't out of context? Wasn't a clip
Absolutely not.
compilation of a 2-hour sequence of out of context clips?
You want to do this? What's out of context?
Okay.
Name one thing. Go ahead, read the chat. Someone will send you on Discord.
No. I have it readily available.
Well, I'll wait.
One of the major points that you made that I've seen through other people's coverage of it so far is that I deny rapes happening on October 7. Okay? That I deny rapes happening on October 7. There's a clip of you when you first encounter that statement where you are actually understanding of my position until your wife stops you and says, that's inappropriate. You literally say, oh, he's saying the likelihood of rapes happening does not justify genocide, which you agree a genocide is happening. Ever since then, though,
Uncontested.
months later, you still chose to use
Her
that
name is
clip
Hila,
that is
by the way,
14
Hasan.
seconds
I
long out
don't
of
know why you
context.
referred to her as my wife. I find that a little chauvinistic, frankly. You know who she is. You know her well. You've begged for Teddy Fresh from her many times. So, like, yeah, you know who she is.
Okay,
You've written her
Hila.
emails asking for clothing. Her name is Hila.
Mm-hmm. That's, I mean, yeah, that's
So
fine.
why don't you say that?
Okay.
Why, who goes, oh, your wife? Like, she's not. She has no. She's just like, oh.
I wasn't. Can you respond to what I was saying?
Yes,
Why
absolutely.
is
With
it-
with
why
great
is it
pleasure, I will
that-
respond.
Why is it that you
Because
initially
Hasan,
understood the full
that was
context
one.
until Hila stopped you and said,
Very good.
No, no,
He
no.
said it. I'll answer. Would you like me to answer? That's one example of many. Seeing your response in the totality of all the responses shows that you do deny the rapes that happened on October
In the
7th.
totality of all my responses.
In fact, you had promised me, and I know you would never lie to me, that you would watch the context puke with me. So why don't we pull up that bit there, and we can see how out of context it is.
Boom, do it.
Great. Someone pulling that, Dan? How you doing? I'm waiting for the link. You good?
Am I? Oh yeah, I'm great. I don't think this is going the way you perceived it to be going, but
Sure. I mean, you're reading your chat. Do you
I'll
think
be
that's the
honest with
most
you, I
accurate
was
way
going to
to
be. I was thinking about being a lot more stern initially, but this has turned into the last conversation that we had where I am trying to gently nudge you in the direction of sanity. And you're
Ethan,
still...
I want you to really understand. You're crazy. You're crashing out. You're hallucinating, my friend. Come sit over here. You know what I mean? Don't ignore the swastika. Ignore the accusations of working with the ADL with no credibility. Ignore the tier list with fucking Ben Shapiro and Ethan. Come sit here. You're hallucinating. Oh, thank you so much for, you know what? Thank you, Hasan. That's so kind of you. How fucking genuine of you to take off the baby gloves. You fucking liar.
I mean, this is the baby
You are
gloves.
a prolific liar, bro. Where's the link? Just control F for.
The reason, for the record, the reason why I don't like to bring Gila into the conversation is because I'm addressing my concerns with you, and I don't think that it's appropriate for me to, you know, extend the lens of criticism to other people.
That's a little silly considering you're like, well, actually, it was Hila who influenced your opinion, the evil IDF lady.
Okay.
Anyway.
While we're waiting for the clip.
No, I got it.
Well, okay.
The violent rapes that took place, that is way beyond the pale.
I'm gonna grab another soda, but I'm hearing you.
There is one instance in captivity.
Chair react.
That we have.
I'm not going to let you chair react to me, buddy. You grab that,
I'm
Dr.
listening.
Pepper. I'll wait.
No, I said I'm listening to you. Don't worry. I was just grabbing another soda. Go ahead.
Beyond the pale.
Is that
There is one instance.
Did you put a
in
Hamas
captivity.
headband on me?
I sure did.
There is one instance in captivity that we have actually gotten verifiable evidence on. Beyond that, the systematized mass rapes that Hamas dealt on October 7, not a single bit of that has been verified. And people still run with it over and over and over again.
Many young people who are simply attending a music festival. Women were horribly raped.
I can't see myself, by the way, if you're showing my reaction.
Oh, you're giggling. You're giggling. It's so funny.
No, I'm not giggling. I'm cringing.
You sure are. Bro, what rapes did Hamas do? What are you talking about?
What rapes did Hamas
Stop
do?
Anti-Semitism account that considered me to be anti-Semite of the week has also been hallucinating rapes once again, doing rape fantasies once again because they're fucking mentally ill.
Hamas has committed.
That's something you go to a lot. You notice that?
What?
Call people mentally ill. find that odd. Probably should revise that. I don't know if that's kosher for leftist values.
Horrific
I'm not exactly you know, I'm not exactly doing a lot of stuff that's kosher for leftist values in general.
Oh, okay,
but
so
I don't
so you have no problem weaponizing mental health.
Yeah, when someone is hallucinating, I think it's appropriate to say that. Yeah.
By your authority, I will decide who's hallucinating. Hasan. Watch this.
Horrific acts of sexual violence.
Ethan.
And took.
Hasan, I am so sorry. You promised that we would watch this. I pulled it up. Now sit silently and enjoy.
But I got the point. You're saying that like you're showing clips of me. You're showing clips of me saying that someone
women
is
and girls, men and boys slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. So that's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with. Like,
I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to Pixar didn't happen.
There you go, Hasan. What do you got?
Pixar didn't happen. Great commentary, by the way. Okay, so
I mean, it's pretty apt.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You did actually. I'm surprised. You did actually show my findings on the UN committee report that came out. That was
the one that you misrepresent. Continually.
I did not
that you
misrepresent the UN
continually lie
preliminary
about the
report.
conclusion.
Wait, what did I misrepresent about the UN
Go
preliminary
ahead. You
report?
tell me what it said.
The UN preliminary report was not an investigative report. Like, for example, the investigative report that came out about Israel's systematized sexual assaults that was 49 pages long.
Horrible. What a horrible thing that was.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Unironically.
Absolutely.
Just unacceptable.
The level of evidence in a preliminary report is only enough to actually create an actual investigation. The problem is Israel has denied an actual investigation to take place. Israel has told the United Nations that they are not allowed to do an actual investigation and to simply listen to what they have to say. Now, not only is Israel...
There are
you know,
literally
let's be real.
women who have said,
do you
I
feel like
was
the Israeli
raped.
government lies?
Do
a
you?
lot?
I mean, all governments lie. I'm not going to defend Israel. Though.
I agree.
You said,
But-
you
but
said,
Israel-
you
Israel
said there's
certainly
women
lies a
that
lot,
come out and
right?
said, I was raped.
What?
There are women on the record, on video, saying I was raped.
Like you're saying, wait, you're saying there are multiple women that are on the record saying I was raped. There is, as far as I understand, one instance in captivity. It is not
as far as you understand,
systematized
because you don't
mass
give a
rape
fuck about
directed by Hamas.
the reality of it.
What?
Well, of course, that's as far as you can conclude because you don't give a fuck about the truth.
Wait,
you just want to do propaganda. Remember?
Ethan.
Hasan, please calm down. You're getting worked up.
I don't know why you're behaving in such a childish manner when we are actually talking about finally some serious stuff. Okay.
Well, you know.
Okay. In terms of the UN preliminary report and the findings, okay, there is a clear-cut lack of evidence for any forensic examination to take place due to the incompetence of the Israeli government and specifically the organization Zakah that spent most of its time in the immediate aftermath of October 7 taking bodies out of body bags and putting them into Zakah branded body bags. This was reported by Haaretz as well. They polluted the evidence pool. Okay? That's number one. Number two, numerous people that came out and offered eyewitness testimony have since then been discredited, also according to Haaretz reporting.
Which article?
I can't pull
What's
it up right now.
What's the Haaretz article that accuses victims of sexual assault of lying about it? Go ahead and link me that one. And by the way, while you look for that,
not victims of sexual assault, Ethan. I'm using my words very carefully.
Right.
Not victims of sexual assault.
I remember you do that.
Not victims of sexual assault. Eyewitness testimony initially provided that led people to believe that there were sexual assaults that were taking place were then discredited.
Show me the source. By the way, Hasan, while you look for that, I'm assuming that you're quoting the UN Representative Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflicts report, right? This is one everyone refers to. Now, are you aware how these kind of papers work? They do a very precise conclusion at the end that summarizes the main thesis and points driven home in the article. That's what the conclusion is. Let me read it for you. Overall, based on the totality of information gathered from multiple and independent sources at different locations, there are reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence occurred at several locations across the Gaza periphery, including in the form of rape, gang rape, during the October 7th, 2023 attack. Credible, circumstantial information which may be indicative of some forms of sexual violence, including genital mutilation, sexualized torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment was also gathered.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I'm gonna walk you through this real quick.
Are they hallucinating?
No. So you just don't know what words mean. So credible circumstantial evidence. Do you know what that means?
It means that of course.
Credible circumstantial evidence is not a substitute for forensic evidence. Credible circumstantial
That's why I said
evidence
Pixar
is
didn't
not
happen, bro.
enough to
You need rape kits.
Credible
Hasan needs rape
circumstantial
kits.
evidence is not enough to
Pixar didn't happen, right?
prosecute rape, which is precisely the reason why the Israeli prosecutors themselves have said that in the absence of a singular victim coming out, and also with all of the forensic evidence that has been tarnished already.
Show me evidence for anything you're saying.
What?
It's show me evidence for anything you're claiming that isn't some unhinged freak on Twitter. Believe all women, hey? Hey, are we believing all women unless they're Israeli? Right after October 7th Hamas attack in Israel, Zakah, the disaster victim identification volunteers, were among the first civilians responding on the scene. Zakah is an Israeli rescue and recovery organization primarily staffed by ultra-Orthodox Jewish volunteers, known for their work in collecting human remains for proper burial according to Jewish law. I think what happened is, a lot of what happened is that Obviously, you don't rape someone and then keep them alive, right? So both of someone were murdered, and a lot of the forensic evidence.
Dan the PBS article about how to debunk the counts of sexual violence on October 7th fueled a global dispute over Israel-Hamas war. This is from May 22nd, 2022. This is about the witness testimony that was discredited. Okay.
But so even if one account was discredited, there's many.
No, it's not one account; it's two accounts. But the rest of
there's way more than two accounts.
Can you?
What am I? What, hey, Hasan, you know what you're doing? You're like, this girl lied about being raped. Therefore, all these women need to be questioned. That's actually what you're doing. You're saying Pixar didn't happen. I don't believe women if they're Israeli.
Can you point me to actual to victims that came out?
Yes.
Because as far as I understand, Israeli police have asked victims and witnesses to testify about Hamas and sexual violence in the aftermath of October 7. And it seems like their investigations were inconclusive because by the admission of the Israeli prosecution,
show me evidence of anything you're saying.
They openly said that there were no victims that came out.
Yeah, let me guess. You read it on Haaretz.
You don't wait. Do you think that Haaretz is not a credible institution?
No, it is. But you
at this point?
No, but you guys lean on that. You just lie about what it says.
What do you mean, you guys?
Sound
Who
credible.
Are you guys?
You and all of your fucking dumbass cohorts that do the same typical rhetorical tools to just say whatever the fuck you want without ever having to back it up or knowing what you're talking about in the least bit. So show me the evidence.
I sent the debunked narratives, and also here is the Israeli prosecutor Moran Gitz has acknowledged that 15 months after the events of October 7, 2023, Israel has still not identified any victims in which a case can be brought against an alleged perpetrator of a sexual attack.
They're all
dead. The admission is in line with a complete lack of any credible evidence regarding incidents of sexual violence, which is particularly notable when these claimed. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this foundation is, but there is news reporting on this. I don't know why someone sent me this link.
They're all dead, bro.
What?
Do you think what is your point? What you said doesn't change anything. You're talking about
Ethan,
do you think that they raped people and then didn't kill them?
You said that there are victims. Can you give me the names of the victims?
Yes,
first of all, I am not in the business of denying rape.
You are.
If there are victims that have come forward in this process,
I will play it for you.
As I've said, there was an instance of sexual assault that took place in captivity. And it was not the systematized rape that was directed by Hamas, as the New York Times' erroneous reporting that did not meet its own standard, its own editorial standard, as a matter of fact, written by a person who literally was taken off the editorial board, taken off the actual paper for some of her insane tweets about Gaza. None of these, there's a lot of stories surrounding this. But I'm not in the business of fucking denying rape. So if you have credible evidence, please present it, and I will admit that I'm wrong. Give me the names.
There's a video. Hold on.
Is the video from Screams Without Violence? Is that where you're gonna? You're gonna present?
No, it's not from that. There's one recently of a woman testifying. I think it was either in the UN or to Congress. She's sitting on a bench. She's talking to a mic, and she's speaking in English. Yeah, we'll get there. But I mean, what's your problem with Sheryl Sandberg's documentary?
Sheryl Sandberg has also been accused of sexual harassment herself, but outside of that,
what the fuck does that have to do with what's written in her documentary?
Her documentary is basically the unsubstantiated claims that some of which were directly found to be incorrect, but not only is it unsubstantiated claims, it's just a recycling of the same Screams Without Violence, the Screams Without Words article that the New York Times wrote that didn't even meet its own editorial standard. Okay, we're having this conversation. You seemingly act like you care about sexual violence taking place against Israelis. Meanwhile, one of the hostages that actually was returned in the early stages did get raped by an Israeli fitness instructor. I have not seen you talk about that. I have not seen you talk about the Israeli pro-rape riots that took place.
A crime that Israeli did unrelated to the conflict.
Israel had a
you find it interesting? There's something that I...
Israel had a January 6th style pro-rape riot where a bunch of rabid, right-wing,
Do you think I'm
settlers
defending this?
Went
Why are you?
went
I'm not
to the
defending this.
prosecutor's office and forcibly, with guns, took out 6 concentration camp prison guards from the Sideh Tayman facility that had actually raped numerous
listen up.
Palestinians on camera, on CCTV
Are you done
footage,
grandstanding? Here's
including
a
one
victim.
that they raped to death.
Are you done? Here's a victim you asked for. Here we go. This is from, I think there was an even more recent one than this, but where's the audio? Fuck. Hold on, let me unmute.
Unable to move and had to ask for permission to use the bathroom. In that house, I was sexually assaulted by the Hamas terrorist who had guarded me. He forced me to go to the shower and entered the room, pointed his gun at me. He was breathing heavily and had a monstrous beast-like face. He meticulously planned his assault, scheming and waiting for the moment to have his way. He kept asking me private sexual questions while sitting next to me in his underwear, lifting my shirt, touching me, and constantly asking me when my period would be over.
Sorry, just to butt in here.
can
Is
you-
are
wait,
she
hold on.
lying yet or no? Is she lying or hallucinating?
Ethan, have I ever said that rapes did not take place, at
Well,
least
you
according
seem-
to one credible personal testimony in captivity, not on October 7, but in captivity?
Kind of, yeah. Yes.
Over.
You're doing it right now.
What do you mean, kind of?
I knew exactly what he was planning to do.
You literally
And yet I
featured-
couldn't do anything.
Wait,
to
pause it for a
prevent it.
second.
No,
I was
listen to what she
utterly
has to say,
helpless.
Hassan.
Ethan,
When
I
the
don't
assault was
disagree
Hassan,
with
don't
this.
silence
You
her. Let her
literally
fucking
mentioned
talk.
Wasn't
me.
even allowed.
No, because you're acting like this never happened, that
You're
it's
mentioning
exaggerated,
my
that everybody's
acknowledgement
lying,
in the
that
video that you
Israelis are just
played.
inherently evil monsters that are responsible for everything
Ethan,
bad that's ever
you
happened. Listen
acknowledged-
to her.
Ethan,
Cry,
you
or to be
know.
sad.
Listen to her words.
Ethan,
I had no one to comfort me and was forced to act
Listen
nice
to my
the person who had
words.
just
Listen
sexually
to this
assaulted
victim.
me
Show her
in the
some
most
respect, Hassan.
horrifying way.
oh, it's so gross the way you're
Not a day
doing
goes
this.
by that I don't think about
Yeah, it's
what
gross.
that terrible
Yeah,
man
it
did
is.
to
You're
me.
you're
You were held in
definitely
such
a
Show
monster,
respect, bro.
brother. That is fucking gross.
No person should ever be
Dan,
subjected
pull the
to
fucking
such
plug
brutal
on this.
and
Holy
ruthless
shit.
treatment. Now,
You really have no problem speaking over a rape victim when they're Israeli.
Dude, you don't give a fuck about rape. Look, what are you doing? Look at what you're doing. I never said that no one ever got sexually assaulted in captivity.
First
in the hands
male
of a
rape
Hamas
survivor of
militant.
Hamas on
I
October
literally
7th.
said in the video,
A man who was
that
stripped
you
naked and
showed
raped by
from your
Hamas on October
context
7th,
nuke, in the
as
video
revealed
that
for the
you
first
showed
time, how he
from
was
your
spat on and
context nuke.
humiliated as his murderous rapist laughed. The victim, only identified as Initial D, is the first man to speak about the sexual assault he and others experienced when Hamas elite, the Nakba unit massacred, kidnapped, and raped innocent people enjoying the Supernova music festival. They pin you down to the ground. You try to resist. They take off your clothes, laugh at you, humiliate you, spit on you. Said the
Okay.
victim who's
Okay,
hold on.
listen to me. Listen to my words very
They touched my
carefully,
private
because you're
parts, they raped
You're
you.
not going through this in a dignified way, and I think it's very gross. What you're doing here is simply weaponizing a victim
Oh, you are
as
so
a
pathetic.
fucking prop. A victim that I also acknowledged, okay?
Silence.
And you know I acknowledged
new
it
footage,
because you
a gun-
posted it in your video that you just
Here it is.
showed me.
Here's the clip.
reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please,
You're
go
doing
right
it
ahead.
again
Doesn't
in the
matter if
video,
fucking
ironically.
rapes happen on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most
Dozens
of
of
who
testimonies.
were hiding and heard.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan, in the beginning,
Are you denying
said,
that?
And
in the
each-
beginning, I'm going to use my words very carefully here.
There's
In the
more
beginning, you
stories
said
coming
on
out.
October
There's a
7th,
UN
there were
report.
numerous victims of sexual violence. That you said, not me, you said that there were numerous victims of sexual violence that actually came forward. So I ask you for names of the numerous victims of sexual violence on
Showing you
October
people.
7th. Because
Wait,
I
wait,
never
hold on,
said
hold on.
that there was
You're
no
saying
sexual
only-
assault
wait,
that
what?
took place. I, as a
Wait,
matter
you're
of
saying
fact,
they have to
looked
have
at
been
that
on a-
report.
what?
I looked at that same UN report and said that there was valid, credible, firsthand account, firsthand testimony on sexual assault that took
I
place
wish
in
you had the
captivity.
energy
that was
you
not
have
on October 7th.
for the Israelis raping people. As I wish you had the same energy for the fucking Palestinian terrorists raping people. I wish you
Because
had the same
I can't
energy.
invent rapes. You have not given me any names. What are you talking
I'm
about?
showing you people and names. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What's with
So
my
vile
people and
to
names?
deny the
I don't
suffering and
understand.
trauma of the victims.
If there are victims,
because
you
you
said
need your
believe
All right,
women.
you know what? This is not going anywhere. Let's just move on. Yeah.
Wait, what do you
let's
mean?
just-
You can't just let's just
I mean, I
move
gave
on
you
from
two.
this. This is a major point of contention. You have falsely
It's just
smeared me
exhausted.
as a rape denier when you yourself, the one evidence, the one
You deny mass rapes
instance,
happened, and you're doing it right now.
instance of sexual violence and
I showed
captivity
two. I just
that
showed you
we know
two.
of up until this point.
Just showed you two.
And I both agree on. You know that
showed
I
you
agree
two.
with that. You know that I've talked about it. You know that I've
No,
acknowledged
you deny
it,
mass
and
rapes
yet-
happened, not that rapes happened.
What?
You deny that mass rapes happened, not
Yes.
that rapes happened. Listen to my words.
Yes, I do. I do deny
Okay,
it.
good. Well, there you
Because
go.
There is no evidence. And for the
I
record,
just showed you
the
two.
clips that you used, ironically enough, the
Actually,
reason
I
why
showed
say
you
it's out of
three.
context is because at that point, I personally took a position where I said very carefully and very deliberately that mass rapes that are directed by Hamas did not happen. There was no evidence for this whatsoever. Okay.
4 survivors told authorities they were sexually assaulted on October 7th. Report. First-hand account of such crimes have been rare,
And
as
not
most
only-
victims were killed. Hassan.
Do you
Report
feel-
follows
wait,
earlier
wait,
testimony from
okay.
a man who said he was raped by terrorists at the Nova Festival. 4 people have told authorities that they were sexually assaulted by terrorists on October 7th. Channel 12 reports. On Thursday, adding to a growing body of evidence of the systemic sexual assault committed by Hamas. Unlike most of the previous evidence of sexual assault on October 7th, which was largely based on eyewitness testimony, the Channel 12 report is notable because it is based on firsthand accounts of victims. You can yawn all you want. Firsthand
yawning.
testimony of such crimes has been rare because the victims have been killed. Killed, dipshit.
Ethan, do you
they
think when
fucking kill
someone-
them?
do you
According to the
think-
report, 4 individuals
Do you
approached
think
the
when someone
welfare
is murdered
minister
that
with their
there's
account.
no
Sorry,
way to
Hassan.
actually examine?
Sorry,
Do you
talk
think that
about
when-
being gross.
Do you think
Listen
that
to
when
these
someone
victims.
is murdered, there's no way to do forensics evidence to actually
Bro,
conclude?
you know the fucking
to
answer
actually
to that.
conclude that that
because
person was
they, you
sexually
know that
assaulted?
Jews, you know that the religious organization that is first responders that you cited has a policy of burying the bodies to avoid disgracing
Ethan,
them.
you
That's
just said
what happened.
dozens of victims came out in that article.
I'm
and I don't know
reading
where
you.
that
What are
article
you
is from.
doing, bro?
If you said
I'm
dozens of
showing you
victims
the
came
evidence
out
that
in
you're wrong
article.
right now. According to the report, 4 individuals approached the welfare ministry with their accounts of what happened to them during the Hamas onslaught, which saw blah, 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 12, sorry, not blah, 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 but 1,200 people killed and 250 kidnapped. The report followed a separate Channel 12 story on Wednesday that provided firsthand testimony from a man who said he was raped by terrorists at the Supernova, where hundreds of people were killed. Are these all lying? There are 5 people here. There's 3 that approached the ministry and 1 man who said he was raped. Are these all liars?
I don't know. I don't think they are. I have no reason
Okay,
to
so
believe
then
that
what
they
the
are.
fuck
But
is your
from
point?
everything that I have seen, from everything that I've read on this, and I have read extensively on this, as far as forensic examination has been concluded, there is no evidence, no hard evidence of sexual assault. And I will give you a
I
clip
just
from
read
a
4
Haaretz
fu-
article
This is
that
so
was posted
exhausting,
by
bro.
Lisa
Uh-oh, here comes the Haaretz article.
Wait, why
I
are
just
you
read you
discounting-
firsthand
I'm
testimony
using-
of 4 people. What are you doing? You're saying that you're not believing the victims.
Ethan, it's
You're
not that I'm
asking for
not
pics or it didn't
it's
happen.
not that I'm not believing the victims.
Where are they?
I'm
You said,
saying
where's
that
their bodies?
since
Pics or it
what you
didn't
have
happen?
mentioned, since the thing that
You're
you
saying
mentioned,
pics or it didn't
okay,
happen,
since
right?
the article that you mentioned came out, there have been further prosecutions on this. Why have they not led to any real prosecution?
Because they're dead.
No, that's not
fucking dead, you moron. What do you
First-hand
mean?
testimony in this regard.
They killed all the fucking Hamas operatives in Israel.
I killed them?
What?
Why are you saying you
Are you
killed
okay?
them?
I said they. Why the fuck would I say you killed them? That's insanely stupid. Are you okay? Hallucinating. Are you crashing out?
Maybe,
Go ahead.
maybe I misheard you. I'm pretty sure you said you killed them.
Sometimes when you're under stress, you can mishear things, but that's
It
okay.
might be. I
understand.
might be. My mistake. I have you on much lower volume because my volume is very low. so
Okay,
it
fair
does-
enough.
That's part of the reason
fair enough.
why.
There's a
That's part of the
misunderstanding.
reason why I do ask over and over again what you're saying.
That's fine. I understand. I want people to hear what we're saying. So that's totally
If you're
fair.
saying, if
Do you,
you're
are you
saying
done, or
he's
you want to keep
gaslighting
going?
just clip it and send it to me, chat. It's that simple. Okay. And if you probably said it by mistake, even if you did, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, we done with this one?
Okay. No, we're not. We're not done with this at all.
Okay.
Because
Go ahead.
you're.
I mean, I just read
Because
four
the question I have
firsthand.
for you, the question I have for you is very simple. Okay.
Oh, if I said
There
you,
is
I
a-
misspoke.
There is a.
That's my bad. By the way,
Okay,
I may have
it's
actually
fine,
said
it's
you.
Fine. You misspoke.
I apologize.
I don't care.
I didn't mean that.
Let's move
Yeah.
on.
I
Let's
just want to
get
make
back
sure.
to the actual main point of contention here.
The liars.
There
Pixar
have
didn't
been
happen.
no rape allegations filed in the October 7 attacks. Not one. Okay? And this is from Ynet,
what?
speaking to Moran Gatz, who I
Gives a
posted
fuck.
about earlier. Moran Gatz is the Southern District Prosecutor's Office in Israel. Okay? She was a member of the Team 7110, responsible for cases involving captured Palestinians in connection with the October 7th attacks. On investigations related to sexual violence, she says, in the end, we don't have any complainants. What was presented in the media compared to what will eventually come together will be entirely different, either because the victims were murdered, okay, this is what they're saying, or because women who were raped aren't willing to expose it. That she excludes here another explanation, says Drop Site News, that no rapes occurred. We approached women's rights organizations and asked for cooperation. They told us that no one had approached them. There were parents who reached out to organizations asking what to do if something happened to their daughter, but they didn't reveal the abuse. So the question I have for you is this, okay? The question I have for you is this. What am I supposed to do in the situation when there are no victims that have come forward?
Four
and the
victims
speculation
just
is that
gave
the
firsthand
victims
testimony. I
probably
read it to
died,
you.
But there's no forensic examination. There
Pixar
has been
didn't
no
happen.
justice for these victims in Israel
didn't happen.
on October 7 due to the fact that the government completely
I'll
ruined.
crack open a root beer.
Okay. The government completely ruined any sort of forensic examination that could have taken place. There is no way to
Or
actually,
firsthand-
there is
are you-
no
are
way
you
to
actually,
actually
like-
bring justice to these victims. Your assessment on this is so off base because
Hasan, are you listening? Four
you think-
firsthand victims. I just read it to you.
Okay, but what I'm
Let's,
giving
you know
you
what?
is the
Let's, you're
Israeli
right. You
prosecutor's
know what,
office
Hasan?
own
You're right. Let's err on the side of
If there are
these victims
then,
lying.
why are there? Why
Let's
have
err on
they
the
not?
side. No, you're totally right. This is the progressive way. Let's err on the side of these people lying instead of believing them. Let's do that. And
I'm
yeah,
not
they're all
saying
lying.
that they're lying. I'm telling you.
Yes, you
my
are.
confusion on this comes from the fact that
It's not confusing. It's
while
obvious.
previous
Most of this shit
reporting-
happened, were
while
killed,
previous
and it's a
reporting
religious.
came out-
It's a
while
religious
previous
part of
reporting
this
came
first
out-
responding unit that they bury the bodies immediately to avoid humiliating them. It's all explainable. Yes. If you don't know that, then you are like woefully misinformed. Which
Dude,
just
what are you talking about? What do you mean? Oh, it doesn't matter. There has to be a forensic examination.
Pixar didn't happen. They bury the body.
No, not Pixar. It didn't happen. You don't think that the victims
buried
deserve
the
justice? What's
bodies.
wrong with you? You don't think these victims deserve
Justice.
justice? Why did
This
Israel
is so stupid.
refuse
Can we please
an
move on?
outside investigative committee to actually,
do you explain these four
under normal
accusers?
circumstances, the
How do you
United
explain these
Nations
four
or a
accusers?
third party will
How do you
come
explain
in
these
and conduct
four
an investigation?
accusers? How do you explain the four accusers?
I don't know why. How
Okay,
do you
very
explain
good.
the prosecutor
Well, let's err on
after
the side
those
of
four
them lying.
accusers? My information is more relevant because it's new.
Unbelievable.
It's newer. Okay. I don't
Okay.
know. I can't.
I guess we're at an
speak out.
impasse here.
I cannot.
I mean, listen, Hasan,
I cannot
we're at an impasse.
disprove
Can we move on?
something that I don't know about when the prosecutor. Do you think the Israeli Southern District prosecutor actually did not examine the testimony given by these victims?
If you don't know what happened in the four accusers, why are you speaking so confidently?
Because I'm speaking about
Because you're a
something
liar.
that
You're a
came out
propagandist, and
after
you
that.
fucking hate Israelis. Can we
What?
move on, please? This is obviously at an impasse.
No.
Oh my
This is
God.
very
I'm
important.
just trying to consider the audience. Everybody wants something else. I'm telling you,
You
dude. This is
have
exhausting.
claimed falsely that I do not
No, I've-
recognize the testimony of a sexual assault that took
Okay,
place in
yes.
captivity. That was
Yes.
false. Do you admit
Yep,
that?
it was false. Yep, she lied. It was false, etc.
No. It's a falsehood that you claim that I don't recognize that. Do you admit that?
Yes, 100%.
So you're
Can we move on?
wait. So you're admitting that you falsely smeared me as someone who is denying a verifiable evidence,
Well, let's take a
verifiable
look
claim
here.
of rape from a firsthand account, and it's not from October 7th.
Okay, yes, I'm smearing you. Can we move on, please?
Okay.
Okay, very
All right.
good. Can you explain this tweet to me? This is your tweet, and I'd like you to summarize it for me. Here it is. You said, go ahead, you can read it for me and explain the picture.
I can't. I don't know where it is.
Oh, so you can't see it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, very good. I guess what's the is just a little delay for him?
No,
Dan,
I can
or-
see it. Bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper. Great.
What's the picture?
This is zone of interest.
What?
You're familiar, yes?
Explain for the audience what this picture entails.
This is Zone of Interest, which is a Oscar award-winning movie depicting the banality of evil during a literal Holocaust taking place, the monotony of the day-to-day existence, the beautiful garden that
And your implication is what?
Rudolf Hess and his family put together.
And your
while
your
in the backdrop, you can
implication
see there is a
is what?
concentration. There's a concentration camp, Auschwitz.
Your
and, there's a
implication
train
to
that
me is what?
most likely inferred to be sending Jews into the
This is the clip
concentration
you're
camp.
responding to. Hold on. Like it's completely based on my. Oh, I actually don't know where it is, but I said we know what it was. I just said Israel proper, right? I said my lived experience in Israel
Can you-
proper.
yeah, play the clip, play the clip.
It's 2 minutes, and I don't know where this happens. If somebody can find out.
No, play the clip. Play the full thing. We have time. I'm not going nowhere.
Well, let me see. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch it too. It's just.
I know you do.
Let's see here. I don't. Here, I'll just play it. Oh, this is a clip from the critically acclaimed Content Cop. How's that working out?
What?
You think Ian's happy he made that video?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't
You don't
talked to
know?
him about it, but
I mean, he put out a really big video. I mean, I would be stoked.
I don't know why you're asking me about what iDubbbz is thinking, but I mean, I assume.
I mean, you were there.
it performed pretty well. I think it doubled your video. So I mean, it's not that bad.
I think if anything, I think it just means that more people are interested in me than you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I believe that for sure.
Very good.
I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people, some falsely and some for decent reasons, wants to.
Do you want to look
see
at the
someone
like
put you down a
ratio?
peg. It's probably the reason why there's a lot of people watching this conversation as well.
Do you want to watch the the like ratio on this? Damn.
The like ratio on this.
That's correct, my friend. Here it is.
Wait, what? Ethan, play the video. This is also been reported even by your favorite. What is it? Nicholas Eat Oreos
My
to be
favorite?
false.
Okay.
The
Well, here.
dislike metric
Let's
is not
let's
correct.
watch it. Let's
Why
just
am I
watch it.
arguing on behalf of Ian's video's performance? I don't give a fuck.
just-
Come on, play the video, dude. Come on, Jesus Christ. Play the fucking clip.
I mean, it is ironic that he came and did this whole show of doing it with you, and it like just completely humiliated him. I think that's kind of funny and interesting. But I'll play the clip.
Not on Leftovers. He's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you. Are you denying? Hold on, I'm sorry. His entire creator clash is in ruin. The event is going to be fucking absolutely canceled. He's probably not even going to be able to reimburse most of the fighters for the time they trained. How is that not a
Ethan.
train wreck?
Ethan, I'm
I'm just saying.
not iDubbbz. I don't care about your petty vendetta against iDubbbz. Play the fucking
You were in the
clip.
video.
Guys, how
Yeah.
I see Israel. 'Cause
You were in
don't
the
see
video.
that. When you listen to Hasan and you hear all these
Yes,
fucking
you've
lefties-
ruined a
like,
charity
lefties talking
event.
about
I
so
hope
much
you're
super
proud.
racist, like,
Oh my God, bro! You have no idea what you're talking about.
He's now talking
I'm
about it
talking
on his
about Israel proper.
What I want to do is show.
And you're showing headlines about Gaza. I literally say in this clip that has nothing to do with the conditions of Gaza and the conditions of the West Bank, which I consider to be like apartheid. Like it's completely based on my lived experience of 5 years living in Israel. My lived experience, bro. You are so fucking out of line. You have no idea. How do you have the confidence to make this video? Again, I don't know where it is,
dude.
The
Show
phrase.
you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that when you listen to Hasan.
Israel blocks, and he shows these headlines. Israel again blocks Gaza aid. Again, I'm not talking about Gaza, which I say clearly in this clip, but go on.
And you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking.
Israeli authorities block healthcare to Gaza. Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about walking around Gaza when I say how great multicultural it is?
We
did
never
you think
defended
that?
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7th. Not even
Shield your eyes.
We never
I think that's the-
co-signed what they did.
Is that not the point he's making, though?
It already happened. I said it. Oh. No, okay. Well, anyway, the phrase I said is that my experience in Israel proper.
What happened after that when AB chimed in? I wonder. Anyway, listen.
Who knows? I mean, you like to make inferences based on.
I'm just asking. I don't know. Are you?
Well, it's
What happened
you know
there?
what's so funny?
It's
You know what's
crazy, 'cause
funny?
it
It's
felt
all
like
on the
it was both
audio.
AB
Go
and
listen to it,
Olivia
dipshit.
that
It's on
were-
the audio. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a pathological liar. You are a propagandist. It's on the audio. You can go listen to it
both
if you
AB
gave a fuck.
And Olivia were chiming in. I don't know why we buttoned it. I'm just asking. You know, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
What are you
All right.
implying here? What are you implying with this photo?
What photo? Oh, with the photo. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's begin. This is going to finally cause us to talk about Israel-Palestine.
Bro, just explain
By
what
your
you're
own
trying to
admission,
say.
there is a genocide that is taking place in the Gaza Strip. By your own admission, there is also an apartheid structure both in the West Bank, but I don't think you believe that there's an apartheid happening within Israel proper by your own terms. Do you
I don't think
feel,
it's. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So do you feel as though Israel is somehow inseparable from both of these actions?
No, but obviously the conditions are different in Israel proper versus the West Bank versus Gaza.
Do you feel like
West,
you
I mean,
going
the
to
West Bank has
Israel amidst
checkpoints. It
a-
has like different areas of zones of interest. People don't have freedom of movement. So obviously that's more apartheid-like than the main body of Israel.
Yeah. Don't you feel like you going to Israel proper would actually resemble someone going to, someone going near Auschwitz and being like, well, it's actually beautiful there. It's not that
Not
big
at
of a
all.
deal.
No.
It's multicultural. Oh, you don't see the comparison. Well,
Well, I
Jonathan
mean, where-
Glazer,
Israel,
who made
you mean in
this,
Tel Aviv? So
Jonathan
you're
Glazer,
saying
who
that
made this video, Jonathan Glazer, who made this Oscar-winning movie, does see the comparison.
So hold
He
on,
said
you're
as
criticising.
much in his
You're
Oscar
saying
award.
all I said was
winning
my
speech.
lived experience in Israel proper. Is the problem that Israel proper? That sounds racist or something?
No, I think you're trying to present Israel as a beautiful multicultural land when it is directly doing a genocide across the border boundary, okay?
Yeah.
And also is
Yeah,
an
I
apartheid
make a distinction.
on a good day.
Yeah, I make a distinction for sure.
You can't compartmentalize
I lived there for
Israel
5
proper
years
from
in
the
Tel
crimes
Aviv.
that is happening 6 miles away, Ethan. That's my point. So saying
6 miles from where I live in Tel Aviv? 6
I don't
miles
know
from
how
what?
many miles away it is from exactly
It's
where
a
you
lot
live
further
in
than
Tel
6
Aviv.
miles. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know how many miles away it is. That's not the point. It's close
No,
enough
so
that you
you're
can
po-
see it.
well,
If you
the-
go to set it off, you can watch it. They call it
The
the night
point you're
cinema.
making is that everybody living in Israel is living next to a concentration camp.
Yes. A death camp.
So I said, bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper, and you're saying that I am a Nazi officer living casually and enjoying life.
No,
as
you're
people
not
are
directly a Nazi officer.
Well, that's what this says.
No, Ethan, you're taking it a little bit too literally. I think the point there with that imagery is not that it's a Nazi officer.
Why did you choose the
is
one
that-
with the guy standing in it?
Well, I'm actually interpreting the work of art in the exact same way that Jonathan Glazer, who made this piece of cinema, interpreted it. The entire point is you can have a wonderful life as an American Jew in Israel. Of course you can have a wonderful life in Israel. That's the point, because Israel is a ethno-religious supremacist apartheid state that is currently doing a genocide. It is the entire underlying principle of why this nation state was founded. That's what it was founded on. It was founded on exterminationist principles
I
of
definitely
the
agree.
indigenous Palestinians, which you seemingly agree to. So yes, if you actually think Israel is doing a genocide, then it comes across as rather odd that you would go to Israel to show how multifaceted and how wonderful Israel is. It would be exactly like someone saying, "Oh, you don't understand. I'm German. I am going to Poland. I'm going to go to Warsaw. I'm going to go to Auschwitz, and I'm going to show you how wonderful Auschwitz looks like because it's German territory."
Okay, thank you for. Okay, I lived in Tel Aviv. I worked beside Palestinians. I worked with them. I took the bus with them. I walked around the streets with them. I went to the restaurants. They worked with me in my businesses. It's not what people expect. That's my point.
Yeah,
you don't see.
That would be lying. That would be lying to your audience about the actual
I lived there for 5
totality
years.
of Israel. You want to talk about my totality of anti-Semitism inferred off of like hyper specific narrow definitions that you have invented in your mind? Talk about the totality of a country that you recognize is doing genocide. You think it's appropriate? You think it's appropriate to go to Israel while there is a fucking genocide going on by your own admission?
You did a show with me and you considered me your friend and you knew that I was apparently a Nazi officer that whole time.
What?
I said you were considering me a friend. You did a show with me. You knew I lived in Israel that whole time. I'm surprised you were willing to work with a Nazi officer.
I also have interviewed members of the Knesset, as a matter of fact, like Ofer Kassev. I have interviewed Israelis from the anti-Zionist youth movement Mezarvot, Israeli members. Israeli Jewish citizens that have refused service, refuseniks. I don't have an issue with people that have lived in Israel.
I don't know what you're going on about.
Some of the reason why I know the total and utter depravity of the inception of Israel comes from Exeter University's very own Ilan Pappé. His writings are what guide me. Of course, I don't have an issue with people that have lived in Israel and no longer live in Israel, or even still live in Israel, as a matter of fact, as long as they are anti-Zionist. Because I care about Zionism as an ideology.
Bro, you're just gish
I do not care about Jewish people or Israeli people. These are not a part of my consideration because I believe in the best of people. I believe that people, regardless of the circumstances that they've been presented with, can see right from wrong. And I thought foolishly that you were one of these people. I foolishly thought you could also see right from wrong. But it's obvious to me that you have simply used what is going on for the past 16 months of horrific
do you want me to
mass bombing
respond?
And starvation.
Hassan, you got to stop. You got to stop with the gish galloping. I know. You're righteous and I'm evil.
Explaining to you my position.
Let me respond. I agree with you. I think that my characterization of it as a utopia, like in that moment, was distasteful, and I wish that I had said that differently. And I see that it came off bad. It came off bad, and I was wrong on that one. I totally agree. Watching that clip back, I'm regretful about how I spoke about it. So I agree with you.
Okay, that's fair. I see. This is. I wish you were. I wish you were this open-minded for the past 16 months, Ethan.